Hi, everybody. So, y'all might hear a little background noise of my daughter. She's pacing around, telling her best friend all about her day and stuff. So, she's super excited. We had a blast opening up a friend of mine, the one that I was making all of those ornaments for. She I think she discovered Temu. And she had a theme of self-care and things you didn't know you needed. That was her theme for Christmas. Yes?
Are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
How many miles does my car have?
I don't know how many miles your car has. Lots.
I want to guess 18,000.
No, honey, I would guess in the 118,000 range.
My mom's guessing 118.
Sorry. Hey, Brian Boggs. Thank you for being the first like of the night. Hi, Linda Ebert, honey. Yeah, I jumped on just a slight little bit early. Hi, dolphins, honey. There you are. I really meant to click it. Okay, so the box of self-care and things you didn't know you needed. Like, oh my God, there were some really cool things in it. Like there was something like paper soap. Oh my goodness. Like that's the coolest thing ever. Japan has some of the neatest stuff. There's this bag, which is car care stuff and travel related things. But my daughter hands it to me. She says, Mom, I'm stupid. And I said, No, you're not. She's like, Well, I can't figure out how to open this. Well, there's a reason she can't. Because if we start on this end of the zipper and go all the way around the pouch, we will find that there is no unzipper. So I want to show you guys how to fix this if you ever come across this scenario. This also works for getting into like if you can't find the key for your suitcase or something like that. So I'm going to turn the camera down here a little. So you're going to take a pen and you're going to run the pen at the middle of the zipper. Okay. And it is going. There we go. Ta-da! So yeah, if you ever find yourself in a situation where your unzipper breaks off of your zipper, all you need is an open pen and you run it at the middle. I don't know how good I got it on camera when I was doing it, but I was running it literally right in the middle of the zipper here. And you just keep running it there and marking it like that, and it will open up the zipper. It is. I know this too. I bought it used for her, and y'all, she's like, Mom, my headlight isn't right. And so she's like, it needs to be adjusted. It's not even on the road. Like, it doesn't do any good at night. Well, the headlight is, golly, I can't think of the word. Kendra,
Yeah,
come here.
I'm still on the phone.
I know you are. First off, what is your car?
My car, 2007 Ford Focus.
2007 Ford Focus. And what did they do to the headlight?
Nail gunned it.
Nail gunned. He nail gunned the headlight, y'all. And didn't tell us. So the headlight isn't even on the road.
Yeah.
And I
He's
don't
a
know how to
sweet
fix
guy.
it. Kendra, look.
Oh, thank you. May I have that?
I don't even get to show people what's in it.
No, you can show them what's in yours. I don't know what's in mine yet. I really don't know.
Y'all, this is what I live with. She did make me the sweetest gift ever. Yes, I know. And he didn't even tell us. He told us he hit 3 deer with it. And that's why it was multicolored. Yes, he nail gunned the headlight back on. Yeah. I don't even know what to do. But hello, Patrick B. Good to see you. Yeah, Palmyra Productions, he should be here. So when he shows up, give him lots of Raz. Oh my goodness. Well, you're just in time for the fun. Aww. I love you. Kitties just got fed. So they are very happy. And speaking of which, so my she orders everything online. So there was no way for her to check. Oh, the car. I thought you were talking about the zipper thing. Yeah, I couldn't afford to take it to a mechanic and have it checked out and everything before I bought it. You know, my ex-husband and my daughter and I showed up, and she knew that it was a type of car she could drive. And she took it on a test drive, but it was daytime. She didn't need the headlights. And, the guy seemed very upfront and honest about everything he told us, but he just didn't tell us everything. He's sure been trying. Oh, did you see my wall? Oh, I'm so mad at him. I love him so much, but I'm so mad at him. So, my gift from my daughter, because she crochets, she crocheted me a paw, and then she drew a little hand-drawn picture of Billy O.T. Isn't that the cutest thing? She drew my baby. Like, I am so over the moon in love with this. So I have a little paw locket from my daughter with my baby. And it hangs right above my computer. Yeah. I know, isn't that so great? I love it. I'm so happy. Thanks, y'all. She's great. And I got a wonderful gift from you guys. I haven't opened it yet. It's a big box. A big box. Very big box. I can't crochet. My brain doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. It's not wired to do it. My mom can crochet anything and does. My mom is in so many Annie Zadok pattern books from years ago. That makes you my sister. I love it. I love it. Ava.
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
Is there any way I can have your flint and steel?
You want my flint and steel?
I want flint and steel, and I haven't had it since I was 7.
It didn't come in yours?
No.
You can have my flint and steel.
It's also red, and I like red.
Ava,
Yeah,
your Auntie Holly's on. What do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Auntie Holly? Oh my goodness. Probably. She says, I don't know. Auntie Holly gave you kitty paws. Dog tax. Yep. Oh, you spoiled baby. You spoiled baby. Come on. Show everybody how cute you are. You want to smell? You want to smell? Should I make you get it? You want to get it? Get the treat? You gonna get it? Come on, get it. If anything ever happens to me and Kendra, you can come pick up Ava. Save this stream for the lawyers. All right, guys, you wanna open my Christmas present with me? Should I do that? Is there enough? There's 10 people on. I should probably wait. I should probably like entertain you guys first and wait for more people to come on. She sells these little crochet animals that she makes, and like she asks for $7 each for them, and people at school, like, they're like, oh no, this is worth 15, and they'll give her double what she's asking for because they feel it's worth more. And yeah, she made bank. Like, that kid, don't let her fool you. Like, she tries to pretend like she doesn't have enough money to buy herself stuff, but that's just to get more money out of me. Ooh, you cheating on your doggy. CE says, open it. Open it. I want to see. I kind of want to see. I had to have my neighbor bring it in, y'all. I couldn't even lift it. Like, there was no way. I couldn't carry it. So, I had to have my neighbor bring it in for me. All right. So tempting. I don't know. Crocheted coasters, like I look at, like, I mean, maybe a doily, but like if you tried setting a drink on something like this, you'd have a wet desk. Of course, maybe that would be perfect for Late Night with April. Like, seriously, y'all, because I am a klutz. It's really actually my cats that do it. It's their fault. It's their fault all the time. Always their fault. Yep. Billy just jumps on the desk and doesn't even look. Earl zoomies to the wall and sticks to it. Oh my gosh. I know, sweetie. I know. You're good. What, Ava? Did you eat that fast? Oh no, Ava's got the zoomies now. Hi, Earl. I see you watching me. He's watching the box, actually. Yeah, the clip that I have for tonight, it's still exporting, but I'm sure I've got other stuff in there. Maybe not, because last night was brutal. 6 hours. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I streamed for 6 hours making them ornaments. But it was what was keeping me awake. It's what you guys were doing to keep me awake. All right, I did Goggins. Heart puts me to sleep. Oh my gosh. And there was nothing special about it. Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot more. Yeah, and I didn't get a whole lot of time to edit today. In fact, the one that I'm exporting, we've got about 40-ish minutes of really, fun. Well, not fun, but the first one's fun. The first one's amazing. And then after that, I took out all the really boring stuff.
6958 CRM 22-18396.
Egan from the DA's office.
Neil Douglas, Mr. Lord, who's present in custody.
This morning there were petitions for revocation of probation filed.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I used to deliver pizzas for Pizza Hut. And I wore a fanny pack. And in my fanny pack, I had milk bones in individual, like 2x3 plastic Ziploc baggies. They were very small craft baggies. You get them in the craft section at stores. And I would buy a big box of milk bones, and I would just sit there for a night and, throw one milk bone in each Ziploc baggie so that it didn't get all over inside my fanny pack. And then, when I went to a house that had a dog, I would just reach in my fanny pack and I would toss a couple milk bones on top of the pizza box. And they were, individually wrapped because, that's what I did. And it was okay to toss it up on the pizza box, and nobody was going to get mad that I threw dog biscuits on their food or anything like that. So it worked out very well. And I got really great tips for doing that. I also carried crushed red pepper and Parmesan cheese in my fanny pack and offered it to every customer. And holy heck, the amount of people that were so grateful for me. It was amazing. Like, I got so many reviews of being the best driver that they had. That, yeah, but you know, I also did goofy stuff. Like, I wore like themed headbands, you know, like reindeer antlers for Christmas, obviously. For Easter, I'd wear bobbly eggs and stuff like that, you know. But I didn't just do it on holidays. I wore them every day. And it was just to get smiles. And if there were kids, you know, it would make the kids laugh and smile. I was the goofiest person ever. Like, I was the goofiest driver, seriously. But that's like the theme of my life, is everything I do is to make somebody else happy, make somebody else smile. Otherwise, what's the point of being on this earth if you ain't making people happy? But yeah, so go to the craft section of Walmart. Oh, here, you know what? I know what I can do. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
And
Yes,
Kate-
Your Honor, I acknowledge receipt of looks like third amended petitions and case number 17678, 16958, 17105, and 17902. Waive further reading and advisement of statutory and constitutional rights. I conferred with probation this morning. They have a recommendation that if Mr. Lord were to admit the allegation, he'd be timed out 1 year on each case to run concurrent. He's prepared to admit the violations, and go along with that recommendation.
And have the people received a copy of I believe they are third amended petitions for revocation of probation in those 4 matters?
Yes, Judge, nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay, and what is probation's recommendation?
And Your Honor, Mr. Douglas is correct in our recommendation. I just wanted to add that Mr. Laura absconded from supervision since October 4th, 2022. As the court knows, the defendant was previously in BH court and SUD services. He was terminated from BH court and hasn't availed himself to any services while absconding. He is alleged to have violated a restraining order. And, you know, this is the second violation, third amended. With that said, last time he was stated that he was on probation to Tulare County. Probation verified that he is not on probation to Tulare County. And that we attempted to transfer the case, but the transfer was denied. You know, given all of this, and then we are recommending that probation be terminated unsuccessful in this matter, and that all the cases be served concurrently.
So what does that mean in terms of custody?
You do 1 year on each case to run concurrent, Your Honor. So, and then he has credits on each case, but they vary. So whatever the credits are, he's prepared to go along with that recommendation. But we can get a credit memo later. We'd like to get this done today.
Okay, any comments by the people?
No, Judge.
And do you concur, Mr. Egan?
Yes.
So, Mr. Lord, I have 4 third amended petitions for revocation of probation. Have you had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is in 16958, 17105, 17678, and 17902. Now, you do have a right to have a formal hearing before the judge to determine whether or not you're in violation of probation. And at that hearing, you have certain constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney at that hearing. You have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that are presented against you. You have the right to present your side of the case and use the free subpoena power of the court to force witnesses or evidence to come to court on your behalf. You also have the right to not incriminate yourself, which means you don't have to testify or admit that you're in violation. And at the end of the hearing, the court would have to decide whether you are willfully in violation of the terms of your probation. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had enough time to talk to your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And as to each of these petitions that I just listed, do you wish to admit the violation, or do you wish to proceed with a hearing?
I admit.
So you give up these rights freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
So the court will find that the defendant understands his rights and has made a knowing and intelligent and express waiver as to his constitutional rights. And do you admit that you're in violation of your probation? And that is to conditions, as to conditions 1 through 6 in each of these petitions. That would be located on page 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
And that would be obeying all laws. Number 2 is reporting to your probation officer. Number 3 was obtaining permission from your probation officer before leaving the county of Mariposa. Number 4, not using or possessing intoxicating beverages.
Mariposa County.
Number 5, participating in completing a behavioral health court. And number
I think-
6, completing a certified batterers program. So as to those 6 violations, do you admit?
yes, ma'am.
I think
Council
California.
joins.
Thank you. So the court accepts the admissions, and based on the admissions and a review of the court file, including the probation officer's report, I find the defendant in violation of probation, and I find all 4 petitions to be true. Probation is revoked. And so at this time, probation can again reiterate the terms of the recommendation of probation.
Your Honor, we're recommending that Mr. Lord serve 364 days in the county jail. In all cases, the cases are to be served concurrent to each other. And I will provide a credit memo.
So the court will accept the recommendation of probation as just stated. So do you accept the terms and conditions
Yes, ma'am.
and join counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further in this matter?
No, thank you.
Just to clarify, the court sentencing him to 364 days on each case to run consecutive. To run concurrent, correct?
To run concurrently.
Yeah, thank you.
As far as the credits memo, do we need to set a hearing to review that?
I assume the jail will get it and I'll get it. If there's any issues, we'll put something on calendar, but I don't think there will be.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Egan?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
The court will file each of these petitions. So there's case number 18396 and 17135 that were set for pretrial. Could you bring Mr. Lord back out, please? Thank you.
17135 is driving along suspended. There's no intervention to dismissal. And then was the other one 18396?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, there's no objection to dismissal on 18396. However, I understand there will be a stipulation requested by the prosecution that defendant agrees that for
There is an existing criminal protective order, so that he's still he'll stipulate to that, but there is an existing criminal protective order in the other matter, so.
all right,
You
Judge,
you agree to stay away from Mariah?
Yes, sir.
Mariah Fay, Mariah, Mariah Fay, Fay, Tate.
And since we don't have
There
a
are
court
kitties.
reporter any longer, if the minute order can reflect that. So, Mr. Lord, do you understand who we're speaking of?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree to stay away from that individual?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what I understand, there were the reason I brought back, there were 2 other cases that were still on pretrial that we hadn't addressed. We addressed 4 that you had violation of probations on. But the other 2 cases, the people are offering to dismiss and that you stipulate that you will continue to stay away from that individual.
Your Honor,
Yes.
stay away order and one of the case numbers of dismissed.
No, it would have been one of the older ones.
So the stay away order remains in
Yes.
effect. And that, I believe that's in case number 17678. Which is not being dismissed.
Okay, yes. That's where we're gonna start, correct?
Yes. So that stay away order remains in effect in that and in case number 17678. And as far as case number 17135 and 18396 on motion of 17135 and 18396 on motion of the district attorney, those cases are dismissed. Okay, anything further in these matters?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
I see, Judge, that in the 17678 case, the probation expires 10/5/24, so the term of no contact would extend to that date. Thank you.
Do you agree to that, Mr. Lord? Mr. Douglas, you join?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you.
And if the minute order can reflect that. Okay, all right, thank you. People versus Thomas Norland.
Egan from the DA's office.
This is case number 23-CRF-19175 and 23-CRN-19117.
Okay, so before,
All right,
Oh.
Christopher Westfall.
of course it would do that.
303-195.
Before the next hearing happens, I want to show Brian Boggs this. So I had to get out my my geocaching kit, traveler's kit. Because I used to geocache a lot. I loved geocaching. So anyways, these are the individual craft baggies that I was talking about. So they come in various sizes. And I think 2x3 was the size that I used for the milk bones. So they're actually like, you'll know when you see them. They're perfect size to fit one milk bone. So you just, you spend a night Ziploc bagging up some milk bones and putting them in your fanny pack, and when you see a dog, you just throw them on top of the pizza box. But yeah, 100%. Keep them with you like that, along with Parmesan crushed red pepper, and watch your tips soar. All right, so now I can go back to the clip. I wanted to share that. I told you tonight is a night of, we'll stream stuff and I'll teach you stuff. I taught y'all the zipper trick. That was super cool. And now I have taught Brian Boggs how to make more money as a pizza delivery driver. I love you guys so much.
Your Honor, I usually represent Mr. Norland.
So the court will be appointing Mr. Action to represent Mr. Norland in both of these matters. These are both on for arraignment. Have you received a copy of the complaint, Mr. Action?
I have not, Your Honor. But
Mr.
I'll
Action?
acknowledge notice of the complaint, waive formal reading advisement of statutory and constitutional rights, enter pleas of not guilty. And no time waivers today, Your Honor. I know we're coming back on Mr. Norland for the 28th for arraignment on the other informations.
His name is Mr. Action. How cool is that?
Perhaps we could go ahead and set the prelim for that date if that works for the people.
Yes, that would be fine.
So there's no time waiver, Your Honor, and we just asked to go to prelim on these cases.
So you are Thomas Riley Norland? And is your date of birth August 10th, 1992?
Yes.
So I have a new filed complaint, and I see that you have a paper copy in front of you in case number 19175. And count one is on or about November 14th, 2023, the crime of attempted dissuading a witness from testifying in violation of Penal Code Section 136.1A1 and Penal Code Section 644A, a felony. There's an enhancement, a special allegation offense while on bail or OR under Penal Code Section 12022.1, an enhancement to Penal Code Section 1203E4, special allegation of 2 or more prior felony convictions. And And enhancement 3, factors in aggravation under Penal Code Section 1170B and Rules of Court 4.421.
This is garbage.
As far as and as far as the other matter, that's case number 23-CRM-19117. It's a complaint filed by the people. Count 1 is on or about September 30th, 2023. The crime of under the influence of a controlled substance in violation of Health and Safety Code 1150A, a misdemeanor. And count 2, the crime of trespass of posted lands on September 30th, 2023, in violation of Penal Code Section 602L1. So in terms of releasing on own recognizance or bail, Mr. Egan, your comments.
The prosecution is asking for a no bail finding, Judge. The facts of 19175 are that on November 14, 2023, before the preliminary hearing in another case or other
I know he looks so
cases,
nerdy.
the defendant went to his brother Daniel's residence, and Daniel saw the defendant tampering with a wheel on Daniel's vehicle, and then the tire, because the tire was a tire I gather was hidden. Defendant, we believe, also drove another vehicle blocking in Daniel. This is shortly before Daniel was scheduled to testify at the preliminary hearing.
That was true. Why was he here before me?
Hey, Thomas, I don't know how many times you've been here. Do not speak, please.
However, Daniel was able to operate a motorcycle, and he did make it to court, although he was 5 or 10 minutes late. So this is a serious matter in which the defendant is trying to
Kill a witness.
pervert the course of justice by causing a witness to not appear at the preliminary hearing. Separate from that, we have
His brother.
several other cases in which the defendant has been charged. We're up to 4 felony cases now and 1 misdemeanor. The defendant continues to commit crimes during the period of release after he's been charged with a felony, and the cases are the case before the court attempted dissuading, the other charges 19162, a 245A1 assault with a deadly weapon, the misdemeanor that the court just arraigned the defendant on 19117. The 2 cases that the court heard with respect to preliminary hearing on Tuesday, 19013. Penal Code 530.5C3, multiple identification cards, and the second case, felon possession of a firearm,
Not a good dude.
18969. Therefore, the prosecution in summary believes the defendant will not adhere to court orders, that he obey all laws, and he is a danger to the community. Thank you.
Your comments, Mr. Action?
Your Honor, I just want to be a little clear here because I'm a little fuzzy on this. I understood that there was a Ramey warrant for my client on Tuesday. And what I just heard is that, and so I'm inquiring right now, the second case that was under the influence, is that what the Ramey warrant was for?
I believe the Ramey warrant was for the dissuading of the victim.
That wasn't my understanding, Your Honor, because the court would have signed that, I believe, and the court would not have had time. I could be wrong, so I have to defer to Mr. Egan.
Yeah, it's not. Sorry to interrupt. It's not for the dissuading. It's for the one of the Rameys was for the assault with a deadly weapon, 19162. The second one, I'm not sure of. It might be the misdemeanor.
Okay, well, thank you. I just want to clarify. I'm just trying to wrap everything up together. Again, I'd set this for prelim on the 28th. I'd also ask, Your Honor, since if the court's going to say no bail, that we exonerate the bail in the other two cases that Mr. Egan just mentioned that we had on the 14th. If he's going to be in there, I just assume he get the credit he's going to get for that anyway. So I'd ask to exonerate the bail on those other two matters. They're not on calendar today, Your Honor. But if we could just do a sort of post order.
Any objection to that, Mr. Egan?
No, Judge.
Okay, so the court, given the factors that the district attorney has recited, and for the protection and of the public and the safety of the victim, the seriousness of the offense charged in not only this case, but the other cases, and the previous criminal record of the defendant and the probability of the defendant returning to court, and again, the protection of the victim, the court will, under the these considerations of these factors, I find by clear and convincing evidence that non-financial conditions of release or a lesser amount of bail will not reasonably protect the public or the victim and assure presence. As far as and the court doesn't find any bail that would be sufficient. So the court will issue no bail at this time. And that would be in both of these matters. The court will set a pretrial in the misdemeanor matter 19117 for November 28th at 9 a.m. A prelim in case number 19175, the felony matter, on November 28th at 9 a.m. and a preliminary hearing in case number 19175 for November 28th at 1:30.
And as far as the other cases, would the court be willing to exonerate?
Thank you, Mr. Action. And the court will be exonerating bail in the other two cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further in this matter?
No, Your Honor, I just asked that the people supply the discovery. They're very good about that, so we'll just look for it in Carpel.
Mr. Action, I also will note that we do not have a court reporter present, and I apologize for not mentioning that at the outset. We do have the clerk taking a minute order. If you wish to have this proceeding continue to Monday when we do have a court reporter, we can certainly do that unless you stipulate to continuing as we discussed.
These are just housekeeping matters, Your Honor. I think the minute order should be sufficient for today. So no, we'd like to get everything done the way we just did it. So we'll waive reporter today.
Okay, waive the reporter, Mr. Egan.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Action. Thank you, Mr. Egan. So we'll see you at 9 a.m. on November 28th, Mr. Norland.
Call me later today, Thomas.
Call the matter of People versus.
And I have officially verified this is California, Mariposa County, California, because if you look behind the judge's head, every once in a while she'll move her head back and there is a California flag behind her head.
Caleb Kimbrough, case number 23-CRF-18827.
Egan from the DA's office.
Your Honor, I'm going to appear for Mr. Douglas today if this is his matter. Mr. Douglas had to go to a juvenile matter.
Thank you.
So let me see.
And for the record, Mr. Action, I have no court reporter available for this matter today. Do you wish for this to be heard on the record? If so, I can continue it to Monday. Otherwise, if you waive the court reporter, we will work towards doing this with the clerk.
We can. I've the instructions I have, and I'm not sure if probation and the DA are on board, but is that Mr. Kimbrough would admit the violation, revoke and reinstate, and he would start attending outpatient services. If that works for you, Mr. Kimbrough, does that work for you?
Yes, probation was okay with it. That's what I heard, but.
Okay, if everybody's good with that, Your Honor, that's how we'd like to proceed.
Yeah, I've been reading.
Mr. Kimbrough, you're good. Just hold on. Let's hear what they have to say.
And so I'm going to ask probation for their recommendation.
Your Honor, our recommendation is that Mr. Kimbrough be revoked and reinstated back on probation, and that he served 30 days in the county jail. He has credit for 33 days, so he has credit for time served, and that as an added condition to his probation that he engage in outpatient SUD services. And his SUDS assessment was filed on November 13th, indicating that he would benefit from outpatient services.
And who's appearing on behalf of the people?
Egan,
And Mr. Egan, have you received a copy of the SUDS evaluation?
one moment, please. I'll check.
I've been reading Alcoholics Anonymous.
Just a moment, Mr. Kimbrough. Yes,
Yes,
it was filed on November 13th.
And the November 9, 2023 letter from Mariposa County Health and Human Services. But and is that what you?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I have received it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Any comments by the people?
No comments, Judge. Thank you.
So, Mr. Kimbrough, it's alleged that you violated the terms of your probation on October 31st, 2023. That you violated the specific term of not using or possessing intoxicating beverages or other intoxicating substances and not be in or about any place of business where the primary item sold is intoxicating beverages for consumption on the premises. It's the violation of the 14th condition of probation. You do have the right to a formal hearing before a judge to determine whether or not you're in violation of probation. And at that hearing, you have certain constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney at that hearing. You have the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that is presented against you. You have the right to present your side of the case and use the free subpoena power of the court to force witnesses or evidence to come to court on your behalf. You have the right not to incriminate yourself, and that means that you don't have to testify or admit that you're in violation. And at the end of that hearing, the court would have to decide whether you are willfully in violation of the terms of your probation. So do you understand those rights?
Yeah,
And have you had enough time to talk to your attorney about this?
I did it.
Okay, and do you want to admit the violation today?
Yes,
Okay, so you give up your rights that I just described freely and voluntarily?
yes,
So the court will find the defendant understands his rights and has made a knowing and intelligent and express waiver to his constitutional rights. And so as to the allegation that you violated the 14th condition of your probation to not use or possess intoxicating beverages, do you admit that?
I really did, yeah.
Okay, joint counsel.
I do, Your Honor.
So the court will accept the admission. And based on the admission and the review of the court file, and the court has also reviewed the probation officer's report, I will find the defendant in violation of probation, and I find the petition to be true. The court will revoke and reinstate probation on the same terms and conditions as previously set forth, with the additional additions that you serve 30 days in the county jail, and the court will acknowledge that you have a credit for 33 days. So I believe you'll be released today. Does he go directly to probation afterwards?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're ordered to go directly to probation upon your release today and report. The other modified term and condition is that you, as far as the said services that you engage in the stipulated said services, are there more outpatient services? Is there a little bit more description as to what that entails?
I've been doing that. Sorry.
Just a
Okay.
moment, Mr.
Hold
Kimbrough.
on.
Just outpatient substance use disorder treatment program. That's it,
Okay.
Your Honor.
So that'll be the court's order. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so do you agree to those terms?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to know that I'm starting with Tiffany. Yeah,
Okay, great.
I'll
Well,
tell probation.
good luck to you. And again, immediately upon your release, you are to report to probation.
Yeah, I gotta have my landlord bring my truck to jail first.
Okay, and if you have any questions, I think probation can help you with those.
Okay.
things.
Yeah, I just got doctor's appointment at 1 day for my CD and stuff. So I got it like there too.
All right,
So,
And we're gonna help you, okay?
What?
And we're gonna,
Okay.
Tiffany's gonna work.
thank you, Mr. Action. Thank you, Mr. Egan. People versus Ralph Cowden and People versus Richard Fasone. So Mr. Cowden is case number 18971B. I believe that's Mr. Tenenbaum's matter. And Mr. Fasone is case number 18971A, and that is Mr. Action.
Yes, Your Honor. Eugene Extra, Mr. Fasone. I don't see him in the courtroom, Your Honor.
I don't see him either.
This is unusual to set it for a Thursday. I think we did that because Mr. Tenenbaum, for his schedule. So I'll defer to him as to where we're going.
And Mr. Tenenbaum, I don't see your client either.
Your Honor, I'm appearing for my client, 977 appearance.
And who's appearing?
Rena Harrison for the people.
Thank you. So, Mr. Tenenbaum, I reviewed the file and I did not see in the minute order or in the register of actions that Mr. Cowden has entered a plea. I'm assuming it's not guilty.
I thought he had already been arraigned, Your Honor. That is correct. We had waived time for arraignment purposes and pretrial, and I would ask for further pretrial on Monday, December 18th, if that's available to counsel. I think this case has a good chance of settlement.
I apologize. That week is not going to be good for me, Mr. Tenenbaum. If you want to appear there, I won't block you. Maybe you can appear for me. And if you think it's headed towards settlement, we can just do that. So December 18th.
If we want to go out to January 4th is available.
That'll work if it works for the court.
That works for the people.
Madam Clerk, does that work? So January, pretrial in both of these matters on January 4th at 9 a.m.
Very good, Your Honor.
Mr. Action, what I'm going to do is issue a warrant in the amount of $10,000 for failure to appear, but hold it to January 4th.
Thank you, Your Honor. I know he had some medical issues and I just haven't talked to him since, so I appreciate it.
No, thank you. So the court will find good cause to continue both of these matters for pretrial January 4th at 9 a.m. And if there is going to be settlement, the court will order that both parties appear in person. Do you have any objection to that, Mr. Tenenbaum?
Oh.
Mr. Action?
No, Your Honor. No, of course, it does depend on what the settlement is, but yes, no objection.
Okay. All right. Anything further in this matter, Ms. Harrison?
No, nothing further.
Mr. Action?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Tenenbaum?
Your Honor.
And Mr. Tenenbaum, you also have John Stegeman, is that correct?
Your Honor, I'm ready.
So the court will call People versus John Stegeman, case number 23-CRN-18951.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Tenenbaum for Mr. Stegman, who is not present, 977 appearance.
Egan from the DA's office.
And Mr. Tenenbaum, my same comments on this. Again, I reviewed the and I think you've been on Zoom for the advisement, but I do not have a court reporter today. Do you waive the court reporter today, Mr. Tenenbaum?
Your Honor.
So as far as the minute orders and the register of action, I did not see a plea entered or a time waiver for Mr. Stegeman.
We certainly did that at the arraignment. We entered a plea of not guilty, time for trials waived.
Thank you. I just wanted that confirmed. So where are we in this matter?
Your Honor, my client is eligible for pretrial diversion pursuant to Penal Code Section 1001. I was able to confirm the procedure in Mariposa County through Mr. Action. He was very helpful. So my request is to come back on Monday, December 18th at 9 o'clock for further pretrial. That'll give our office the time to work with our client and the VA in Fresno.
That date is fine, Judge.
So the court will find good cause to continue the pretrial in this matter to Monday, December 18th at 9 a.m. And again, the court will note that a time waiver has been entered and he has been released on his own recognizance.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tenenbaum. Thank you, Mr. Egan. Call People versus Jason Holmes, case number 23-CRN-18895.
Eugene Action making a special appearance for Mr. Douglas on behalf of Mr. Holmes, who's present.
Egan from the DA's office.
Yeah, and I understand that they were going to, if they haven't done it already, there's going to be a PC 1000, the old-fashioned way. He's going to enter a plea of no contest to the charges, and then he's going to take the 16-week course. If he's successful, the case will be, he'll withdraw his plea later and dismiss the case. If he's unsuccessful, he'll have a conviction.
Right, judges.
And do we have a form for that, Mr. Action?
Your Honor, if there isn't a form there, I don't know. Mr. Douglas just gave me that information. If the court wants to put it off for Mr. Douglas to go over a form, that's fine. We used to have a different form, Your Honor, it was a different kind. So here, I guess it'd be, I wish we had a court reporter for this, but if he'd entered a plea of no contest, the court would, we waive time for sentencing. He would go take, it's a 16-week course and violate no laws. And then come back in a year to 16 months. If he's not violated laws, he's completed the course, then the case could be dismissed.
And,
So,
and given that we don't have a paper form and I'm concerned not having a court reporter for this, I don't know how quickly they're going to wrap up in the other matter, Mr. Action. What I'm inclined to do is to trail this and see if we have a court reporter available. And Mr. Douglas?
Your Honor, I think I'll leave it to the court, but I think that juvenile matter might take some time. I would suggest maybe we come back, maybe would the 28th work for you to come back, Mr. Holmes?
The 28th,
Or Monday, the 20th?
Monday, the 20th.
Can you come back on Monday?
The 20th, does that work for you, Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be my request, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Holmes, because we don't have the court reporter, I want to make sure that we have it on the record, the terms of what we're doing here today. I also would like for you to have your counsel here, and if there is a paper form that you go over that with him and sign it. So what I'd like to do is continue this to Monday, November 20th at 9 a.m. So that we can have this properly set on the record.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you have, are you available on Monday, November 20th at 9 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, and so the court will order that you appear in person on Monday, November 20th at 9 a.m. Any objection by the people?
No, Judge.
And so this will continue the pretrial in Mr. Holmes' matter. Thank you, Mr. Action.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you.
Okay, People versus Mark Jennings, case number 23-CRM-18999.
Good morning, Your Honor. John Abel on behalf of Mr. Jennings, who's present in court and out of custody.
Thank you. And Mr. Abel, we don't have a court reporter, as I'm sure you've heard. Do you waive moving forward today without a court reporter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I spoke with people this morning. We're formulating a resolution. I have shown them some documents. Mr. McAfee's asked for copies for himself for review. We've agreed to come back on Thursday, December 14th, if that works for the court, with the general time waiver.
That's accurate. Okay. Madam Clerk, December 14th.
It is a general time waiver, so the court needs to continue to a further date as per myself.
Yep, December 14th works
Yes, with the general time waiver.
with the general time waiver. So, Mr. Jennings, you do have a right to a speedy trial. So that's what the time waiver is. They're indicating that you're waiving that right to a speedy trial so that you can come to a resolution in this matter. Do you understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you waive your right to a speedy trial at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the court will note that he has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of his right to a speedy trial, and the court will find good cause to continue this matter to December 14th. That's a Thursday at 9 a.m. And you are you're on bond currently, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so the court will order you personally present on December 14th at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Abel, do you have any other matters on the
That's it,
calendar
Your
this morning? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So the court will order that be served. That's the amended stay away order.
The peaceful conduct.
Yes. So we'll note for the record that has been served. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
People versus Ronald Kuchta, case number CRF 21-17817 and CRTR 20-17038.
Eugene Action for Mr. Kuchta is present out of custody.
And who's appearing on behalf of the people?
Egan from the DA's office.
Okay, and Mr. Action, as I've stated before, we don't have a court reporter. Are you okay with proceeding today without a court reporter in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And so stipulate, Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Thank you. So where are we in this matter?
Your Honor, we were here for a review. Mr. Kuchta had a violation, I'll call it a violation of his diversion for alcohol consumption or at some point. Judge Figaldi handled this case last time and essentially told Mr. Kuchta it's time to fly straight. So we're here today really to see how he's doing and then set it out for another review, assuming he's doing well. So I'll have to defer to probation.
Does probation have a report?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Kuchta is currently on the SCRAM device and he's had no issues since on that. So that's where he's at.
And that's what the court wanted to confirm.
Okay. And is he still engaged in mental health services?
Yes, he has some paperwork there, Your Honor, they brought in today. And so the court knows I inherited Mr. Kuchta from a gentleman that went off to work for San Diego PD. So I just caught up to everything, but I'm not sure where he's at in the services. I know this case has been going on since 2021.
This is a status report from Kaiser, and it does verify participation in the addiction medicine recovery services program. It's an update dated November 1st, and it does describe that program. So the court will file this and seal it as confidential in the file. And Mr. Egan, have you had an opportunity to review the letter?
Yes.
And so as far as and the court will note that there is, as probation reports, no issues with the SCRAM. So as far as continuing review, I'd like to continue to keep an eye on this. I'm inclined to set it out for another month. Your comments, Mr. Egan.
That would be fine, Judge.
And Mr. Action?
Yes, we can back on and say, you said a month, Your Honor. I think if there are any issues, I believe probation would probably let the court know in advance. I was thinking, and if nobody has any objection, to coming back on January 29th, just because we're going to be pretty crowded at the beginning of the month.
Any objection to January 29th at 9 a.m., Mr. Egan?
No, Judge.
Okay, and probation will notify the court. I will order that the SCRAM continue to remain in place.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any further comment from probation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Mr. Kuchta, we are going to order you to be personally present on January 29th at 9 a.m. If you have any other further reports, I would suggest that you bring those with you so that we can continue to keep a monitor on your progress. So I will order that you bring an additional confirmation from Kaiser, since we're going out 2 months as to your progress, and then the SCRAM will remain on. Does he need to report to probation after court today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Anything further, Mr. Action?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Egan?
No, thank you.
So the court will order that this letter from Kaiser be filed under seal. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
People versus Bethany Mello, case number CRM 21-17622.
Eugene Action appearing especially for Mr. Douglas on behalf of Ms. Mello, who I believe is not present according to
Sorry, guys. I was trying to show you. Earl was attacking the wall again. Like, I posted a video earlier of what he did to the wall. And he was just doing it again. He literally tore a chunk of my wall this much. I heard crinkle, crinkle, crackle, crackle. And I turn around and look, and he's got his claws in the wall, hanging from the wall. Like, did y'all see that video earlier that I posted? Oh my gosh. If you haven't, we're going to take a quick look at Earl. Because he was trying to get into the gift y'all sent me too. He was. He was trying to break into that box. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, so I'm going to present, share screen, content, share. Okay. Or what are you doing, buddy? He had tore the corner up on the box. I promise, when it's time to open it, you will be involved. Yeah, see? I know. And this law. I don't even know what it is yet. The wall started it. But whatever it is, I promise you will be involved with it. Robert, you are Earl funny. Is so excited about the gift y'all sent that he is trying to bust into the box. He's acting all innocent now. He wasn't all innocent a minute ago. And he certainly was not all innocent when he did a flying leap from the floor to the wall and did this. And this. I don't know who laced my walls with catnip, but Earl now thinks that he has a right to dismantle the walls. I have little fragments of my wall all over my bed, little pieces of wallpaper and drywall paper, whatever it's called. Oh, flying leap. Y'all, look at that. That's his nails. That is his nails. He hung from the wall by his claws. And that isn't even the spot that he was being wall liquor on. That is. He's tearing my house up, y'all. Look at how cute and innocent and beautiful he looks. He looks so perfect. He's such a sweet, gentle, kind, wonderful cat. If you're not a wall. Mm-hmm. Drywall. That's what's in the wall. I just don't know anymore. But yeah, that's what I was showing. I mean, come on. The upper courtroom is, more about audio than visual anyways. You can't really see a whole lot in that courtroom other than, the judge's profile, and once in a while you get a decent shot of someone in stripes or orange, but that's about the extent of it. Can't really make out features well. At least I don't think. I mean, I can't really, but yeah. All right, so I'm going to open my present. I'm going to move my wonderful bag that Palmyra Productions gave me. Did y'all heard that big thump when I was the cats busted at the door? Scared the crap out of me for a second. Don't mind me, please. I usually, this is why I turn the camera off when I'm walking around any So I can't walk up, I can't stand up straight. So, and it's really not fun. It's embarrassing. But, okay. Okay, so I got the box over here. Okay. Ava's here to help me. Okay. All right. No, seriously, you are too good to me. I don't even know what's in it yet, but whatever it is, you guys seriously are too good to me. So it's got a giant, I don't know, triangle V on it. I am going to disconnect my thumb drives for the moment. So that I can move my laptop. Okay. Don't mind my messy room also, please. Okay. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. Okay. Here we go. All right. Oh, it says do not open with a knife. So I should probably be very careful with the scissors. Do a little shimmy, shimmy, shake action. Oh, yo, this is heavy. Okay. I have to take an extra pain pill after this. Okay, what is that? Ooh, the kitties are gonna have fun with that. I can already see that. What? Okay, I gotta get down. There you go, Ava. Okay, so that's I know what that red string is. That red string is what they do to attach a package of screws and stuff. Caster wheels. I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is, y'all. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I think I have deciphered the secret. What did you guys do? Okay. This is hydraulic. This is a hydraulic doohickey. That's the technical term for it. Scientific name, hydraulic doohickey. And that is the Allen wrench and all of the little screws. And I see a base, a star base that the hydraulic doohickey goes in. And now I know these are arms. These are arms. I had the other one upside down. That's an arm. This attaches to the hydraulic doohickey, and it's the uppy downy lever. That's the uppy downy lever. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. It feels so cushy. Oh my God. Thank you, you guys. Oh. Eva, I'm sorry. Have a box. That's your present. This is mine. Oh my God. Oh. You guys, you got me my office chair. Oh my God. Thank you so stinking much. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, I just have to put it together now. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say other than thank you. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I am so grateful. You want to see what I had? This thing is so heavy. It's an old, I don't know, like school chair. And like I could lean back in it, but it felt like I was gonna fall out of it. And it was so loud and creaky. Like, like this thing creaks so bad. Okay, I have to get up off the floor for a minute and get back into my chair. Yeah. No more numb butt, no kidding. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Linda. are so freaking amazing. Like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to put it together while y'all watch the clips. There's just a little bit left on the California revocation docket. And then sorry. Combination of overwhelmed from the generosity of my amazing subscribers and overwhelmed from the pain at the moment. But I know that's not no. That doesn't happen. I know, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I am so over the moon grateful for you guys. You guys are the absolute best. You really are. You really, really are. To everyone who contributed to getting me the chair, thank you so much. And to everyone else who is here, who drops in to give me a like before the stream or to put it on before they go to bed just to leave it run so that I get the watch hours. To those of you who just pop in to say hi, every one of you, I love all of you. You all have a very important, special place in my heart. And every day, our group of friends is growing. And you guys are so welcoming and so amazing. And I love how you share your life experiences with each other and how you bring each other up. Always. Like that is the theme of my channel. You raise each other up from the darkness. And like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say, y'all have gotten me through some really dark times. Like, it's been said way more than once. And it's true for me. Like, you guys have brought me out of some serious depths. And I've seen others say it too. Like, we can have the worst day of our lives, but come here and be happy. And it's like an instantaneous happy. You guys are so great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm just reading the comments really quick, so oh, thank you. We did Christmas tonight because she's got stuff with her boyfriend's family and she's got stuff with her dad's family, and I told her, don't make me a priority. I mean, I didn't even decorate this year. I did not think we would have Christmas this year. I really didn't. I didn't put stockings up, nothing. Like this year was just gonna be no bueno. I had resigned myself to it. And then you guys happened. Palmyra Productions sent her a couple of things. Stephanie Anderson had sent me a very generous gift in the Cash App, and that's what I regifted to her. So I was able to give her something, and she made me the absolute most wonderful gift ever. Like, for those who weren't on earlier, she crocheted me a paw, and then she drew my Billy O.T. like a locket and put him inside of the crocheted paw. Is that not the coolest freaking thing ever? So that hangs right above my computer, so I can see it every day. I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying, you're crying. Yep, it's you. These are yours, not mine. Yep, I'm not crying. Okay. Before everybody thinks I'm absolutely crazy, I'm going to plug my external back in, put the clips back on. Oh, come on, for crying in the mud. I know how to tech. You wouldn't believe me if I told you that I spent 7 years in IT tech support. But it was for cellular devices, so. Hi, Mean John. Oh my gosh, I rarely get to see you. I'm so happy you stopped by. I love you and I miss you. Thank you for being here. Missy B just likes making me cry. She likes seeing me cry. Yep. You guys are just amazing. Okay. I need to go blow my nose.
Mr. Douglas, he was asking that the court issue but hold a warrant till next week. If he seemed to be indicating he wanted to go to well, obviously that'd be tough. Probably the 21st, Your Honor.
Egan from the DA's office.
Your comments, Mr. Egan. This was on for review of her status in the Batters Treatment Program. As of August 17th, she had 10 classes.
No objection, no objection, Judge.
And does probation have any report on Ms. Mello?
Your Honor, in this case, she has failed to provide any kind of made any payments to victim restitution in the current case, so 17622.
So the court will note that Ms. Mello is not present. The court will issue a warrant in the amount of $10,000 for her failure to appear, but hold it until next week. And we're looking at Tuesday, the 21st.
Please, Your Honor.
So we'll set that for November 21st at 9 a.m. And I'm assuming Mr. Action will convey that to Mr. Douglas to see if he can find Ms. Mello.
As we speak, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Egan, anything further?
No, thank you.
Thank you. People versus Jason Phipps, case number CRM 22-1854.
Egan from the DA's office.
Court will note that there was a warrant in the amount of $10,000 for failure to appear. That warrant was recalled, and Mr. Phipps was released on his own recognizance with the order to appear at this date and time. And he is present in the court. And I believe Mr. Squalia, it's not on the calendar, but Mr. Squalia has been appointed Mr. Phipps' counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Squalia?
It is. Yes.
So this was on for deferred prosecution review. On February 9th, 2023, the defendant had been placed on 1-year deferred prosecution to complete 34 therapy sessions. And the last review, it appeared that the people were happy with it. I don't see any proof of classes, but I think that was shared with people. So, Mr. Egan, where are we on this?
I see that the paperwork I have is that the counseling was started. I don't know if Mr. Squalia has any further updates on whether the counseling program is continuing or it's been completed.
I think that Mr. Phipps may have something to offer.
I'm going to have the bailiff hand that over to Mr. Egan. And Mr. Squalia, as I've stated before, we don't have a court reporter. Do you have any objection to moving forward today without a court reporter?
No objection.
Thank you. So stipulate people.
Yes.
Thank you.
You should really tell the judge if you, I think Mr. Squalia, Mr. Phipps wants to say something about his counseling, if that's agreeable with you.
If it's just about the counseling, yes, go ahead.
I'm providing documentation. I did send proof of performance to Squalia.
Okay, so you've sent a copy of your proof of performance to Mr. Squalia?
Correct. And I didn't even know there was a warrant out for my arrest until I was called up. So I came in the next day. I'm happy to cooperate. So this information has been provided to both my counsel and.
I don't think any further, Mr. Phipps, I don't think any further comment is necessary at this point. I assume what the court has been provided shows that he's continuing. It's my understanding he's continuing with his classes. So I don't know if the court wants to set another review.
Just a moment, Mr. Phipps.
Yes, sir. Sure.
And as a friend of the court, I will note that Mr. Phipps was also in court Tuesday. I did see him there.
Thank you. Okay, so I see that it appears that there has been, this is with how do I pronounce it?
Cameron Health.
Thank you. And it's 40-minute sessions with telephonic behavioral health. It appears that the last one, this was printed out on November 13th. It appears that his last one was November 8th. Is that correct?
Actually, last one was yesterday, but.
Okay, November 15th.
I printed
Yes.
these documents out on Tuesday.
And then you also have one coming up on November 15th. So it appears, is this for the court's file?
If that pleases you, yes.
So the court,
And
and the other is emails to Mr. Squalia from Mr. Phipps. I will not take this into consideration. So I'm going to return that to you without reviewing those. So the court will note the record that has been provided and will file it under seal. So as far as reviews, consider when do you want to reset this?
and that would be sealed.
I'm sorry.
That will be sealed.
It will be sealed. The court will order that it's filed and sealed in your file as confidential. So, Mr. Squalia, when do you wish to come back?
I think that Mr. Egan may have some. This is the ball's kind of in his court. This is the first prosecution. Mr. Egan, how much time would you like?
I'm sorry, are you speaking with me?
No, with
He's
me.
asking Mr.
Depends
Egan
on whether,
to set it.
do you know when Mr. Phipps is going to finish his counseling program? Sometime after that.
Let's how about we set it into January?
And Mr. Egan, is this format sufficient for the people?
Yes.
I believe that. Nice.
Just a moment, Mr. Phipps.
How about January 9th or the 16th?
Okay, those are Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Yes, either one is fine with me.
And that is the conclusion.
Mr. Phipps, do you have a question for your attorney?
Oh, so I believe I will conclude the treatment therapy by January. Can I submit it to the clerk or to the DA?
So I would give that to your attorney to file prior to that date, and then that'll be under consideration and be in the court's file. Mr. Squalia, your comments?
No further comment. If he's going to finish it, in January. Perhaps if he's going to finish in January, perhaps we can set this to the end of January, maybe how about January 30th? That way we'll know that he's completed.
That would be fine with me, Judge.
Meaning that I need to appear in person prior to this being concluded with full proof of completion.
Yes, so what I'm hearing is that you'll have it all done by January 30th. Prior to January 30th, you will have submitted that. You'll appear on January 30th.
Where should I submit it prior?
So Mr. Squalia, he's asking where he should submit his paperwork prior. Do you want him to give that to you to file with the court?
If he has it done, he can bring it with him to court on the 30th.
I'll let you discuss that with your attorney, but I'll set the next hearing for January 30th at 9 a.m. It'll be set for a review.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Okay. And you are ordered to be personally present January 30th at 9 a.m. And do you have Mr. Squalia's phone number?
He does.
Okay.
And his email.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Squalia, in this matter?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phipps. Thank you, Mr. Egan.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, see you later.
That calendar? Okay, that concludes.
I'm here, I promise. Sorry, I'm trying to do this. I'm here, I promise. No, I did not get nosy. I did not get nosy. I was away from the chat for a minute doing something. I can't even remember what it was. And I looked at the chat and there were, sirens and blowhorns and stuff saying, everyone go to the Discord. So I thought I was supposed to go to the Discord. And I opened it up and I saw we want to get her one of the bigger items. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be here. But no, I did not. Yeah, I know this. That's why I'm going to do it in little sections. Oh, honey. So the Cash App, there's Cash App, there is Venmo, there's PayPal. All of those are in the descriptions of every video, other than I forgot to copy it to this one, of course, because I set this one up on my phone and I don't have that copy and paste message on my phone. But there's also an Amazon wish list that has a whole bunch of stuff on it. So those are the ways. Otherwise, if it's something that you think of that, you want to talk to me personally about sending, like if it's something that you can't do on Amazon or whatever, if you're somebody that I know and trust, then email me and I can exchange contact info. I don't have a PO box or anything yet because I just simply can't afford one yet. It'll come eventually. January 2nd, y'all. That's when I get monetized. Well, that's when I have the potential to get monetized. January 2nd. So that's the date we're all waiting for. Every one of us I know is waiting for that date. But yeah, I appreciate it. I really do, Jody. I really, really do. I know, this is Christmas time. Nobody has extra to give, especially not to just some internet person. You guys got families and, people close to you and like, For crying in the mud, milk is $5 a gallon right now. You know, I don't expect anyone to give me anything, but I'm so grateful that y'all care enough that you do. And it blows my mind. It really does. Oh, honey. I can't be one of your children. I'd have to be your sister. Oh, I had those the first time that I applied for monetization. I had everything to get monetized, but they deemed my content as reused content because I had a couple of videos up that I had made for Mike, and they had no editing done to them. And it was only a couple, and that's all it took for YouTube to say, nope, we're not letting you have it. So I literally I was monetized for about 6 hours, long enough to set up all of the icons and stickers and levels and, you know, the 99 cent a month subscription. And yeah, because I wanted to make sure that my subscriptions were affordable for everyone. I want everyone to be able to be a member. I would much rather, you know, have 10,000 99-cent subscribers than set it for, you know, $6 or $8 like I see other YouTubers doing, and have, you know, 100 people who can do that. No, you know, I am not a cable channel. You know, I think 99 cents a month is, you know, I mean, that is fair for a YouTuber. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I will, let me grab, the links really super quickly. I know I have them. There we go. I keep it simple. Like, seriously, my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, they're all just my name. That's it. Nothing difficult to remember. Earl is getting all kinds of curious. He's playing with the plastic and the cardboard tubes and everything else. Hi, Earl. Yes. The chat loves us. Nice from the chat, honey. My grandbaby boy. My most beautiful grandbaby boy who's eating the house. One lick at a time. Yeah. Right. Yeah, my Spectrum, they keep trying to get me to sign up for TV. And I'm like, no, why? I watch YouTube. That's all I do is watch YouTube. And, you know, I get way more entertainment out of being able to pick what I want when I want, you know, than having, you know, the cable channels and stuff. So I know, honey, you're one of my originals. And I'll be 100% honest, I would prefer that too, because YouTube takes a pretty large chunk and Cash App doesn't. So, but again, I don't expect anyone to do that. If people can, if people are willing, I'm super appreciative of it. But by no means do I expect anyone to do it. I want you guys here because I love hanging out with you. I love interacting with you. You guys are my friends. You are my people. And I don't ever want to be a burden or a hardship on you guys. I don't ever want to beg you guys to give me money. I just want you here. You make me happy. Truth, 100%. You guys make me happy. I was sending mic clips for a long time. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. I have Facebook. I have Facebook Messenger and the Messenger Pay. I'll be honest, I don't post much to Facebook and I rarely log on to it to read it and do stuff on it. But I do have it. And if you let me know you're adding me, I will add you. But it's not exciting because I don't post on it anymore. But I have lots and lots of pictures and stuff from when I used to use it. But I will look for you. I will look for your friend request. All right. I'm going to put the good clip on now. This is the fun one. I had to put it on a different thumb drive though because it was exporting while my external was plugged in, so I couldn't unplug my external and move it over to the other computer and transfer it. So, but that's what thumb drives are for.
Christopher Westfall, 38031952, 3808030017, and 3805429552. Mr. Westfall, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Morning.
All right, give me just a second here. Pulling up the paperwork. You have Mr. Lackey in Zoom, by the way.
I don't believe Mr. Lackey is going to be appearing.
He's not going to be appearing. Okay.
Unless he appears, but he told me yesterday. Yeah.
We had Gearhart. All right, so.
Since Mr. Gerhardt's not going to be present, Mr. Lackey is in agreement with the orders that were uploaded.
Okay. All right, Christopher Westfall. I have a guilty plea here, Mr. Westfall. It looks like count 1 is theft in the 3rd degree. Count 2 is shoplifting. Pursuant to those 2 guilty pleas, the city is going to be moving to dismiss 1 count of criminal trespass 1st degree and 1 count of obstructing law enforcement. Have you had the opportunity, sir, to review this document with your attorney?
Yes, but before we go over that, I have a question. I thought that by law that I was supposed to be arraigned within 14 days.
Supposed to be you were arraigned long ago, Mr. Westfall, at least according to my documents here.
When was that?
You were arraigned on November 20th of this year on all of these.
Wasn't that my omnibus hearing?
That was arraignment. Arraignment's your first appearance. That's where we entered the not guilty plea. Court document has it right here.
Now this guy is so cocky and confident that he knows what he's talking about when he actually doesn't. The omnibus hearing is just a filing date. It's the date that documents need to be filed, and defendants don't even show up to that. Only the lawyers do. You show up to it if you're representing yourself, but that's just the date that you have to have documents turned in. So he's confused.
I thought that was your omnibus where you entered the not guilty plea.
Arraignment is where you enter a not guilty plea.
Yeah, okay.
So you were arraigned on November 20th. All right.
Okay.
With that taken care of, do you have any other questions before I move forward?
I was arraigned for. Wait, you guys
Mr.
arraigned
Westfall,
you have omnibus hearings on your superior court matters. We don't have omnibus hearings here in municipal court, so you might be getting those kind of confused.
No, so you arraigned me on all my charges for my superior court and.
No, we are in municipal court right now.
I know that, but you arraigned me. Let me guess, I didn't have a public defender there today.
You don't have an attorney when you go through arraignment. It's your first appearance. I found you eligible for the public defender on that day, and you had an attorney appear with you.
Is that legal? Because I thought by law.
Okay, Mr. Westfall, we're flying off the rails here, sir. Are we going to move forward here with the guilty plea statement, or do you need more time to speak with your lawyer?
Can't answer that question.
Because I can't go through the entire history of your case with you here on the record. That's not what we're here for.
I had two questions. If I was supposed to have a lawyer present by law, and if
you had a lawyer appear with you at arraignment, I can look in the docket and see who it was.
Okay. Then let's proceed.
All right, you ready to go forward?
Yeah.
Okay. We'd have to pull the record otherwise, which we certainly could do, but okay. All right, so again, I have this guilty plea statement to theft in the third degree and shoplifting. I'll just ask you again, I want to confirm, you had a chance to review this document with your attorney, Mr. Westfall?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other questions about it for me before I continue on?
No.
All right. On the defendant's signature line, it looks like you reviewed it via telephone. Does that sound accurate, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand that by pleading guilty to these two charges, you'd be waiving your constitutional rights? That does include right to a jury trial and the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at this agreed recommendation, Mr. Westfall. Count one, that's theft in the third degree, 364 days, suspending 354. Excuse me. That's, of course, 10 days. You do get credit for any time you've already served. $5,000 fine, suspending $4,700, so pay a $300 fine. Count two, 90 days, suspending 80 days, so another 10 days. $5,000 fine, suspending $4,700 of that. That comes out to 20 days total, credit for any time already served, and a $600 fine. There was no probation being requested. Is that your understanding, Mr. Westfall, of the agreed recommendation here?
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty decent deal. You should take it.
Okay. You understand the court is not required to follow it and could sentence you up to the maximum 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine on count one, and up to 90 days in jail and just realized I need to change this. Should be a $1,000 fine, suspending $700 on count two. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than this recommendation, has anyone promised you anything or threatened you in any way in order to get you to plead to these two charges here today?
No.
Are you doing it on your own free will?
Yes.
Do you also understand if you're not a United States citizen? What?
I'm here because I have to be.
Okay.
Right? But I'm on my free will, yeah.
So, Mr. Westfall, you don't have to enter these guilty pleas today. In fact, I don't want you to if you don't feel like you want to. So.
Yeah. Yes.
So just to be crystal clear, you're doing this because you want to do it here today?
Yes.
Okay. Knowing all of this information, Mr. Westfall, well, actually one more question. Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen, the conviction of this crime can carry negative immigration consequences?
Yes.
All right, knowing all of this, sir, you do still wish to move forward today with the guilty pleas?
Yes.
Okay. Respondent, are you satisfied Mr. Westfall is making the change of pleas freely, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Westfall, on count one, that's cause number 3A0319532 to the charge of theft in the third degree. How do you wish to plead today?
Guilty.
Count two, shoplifting under cause number 3A0542952. How do you wish to plead today?
Guilty.
All right, counsel, is there stipulation of facts sufficient on both?
There is, Your Honor.
With that stipulation, the court accepts your guilty pleas, Mr. Westfall, finding they were made knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences. There is a factual basis to support both of those guilty pleas. The court's now entered findings of guilt on both. Go ahead, Ms. McGrain.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreed recommendation. I guess the city would first formally move to dismiss the one count of obstructing and the one count of criminal trespass in the first degree pursuant to the plea. The recommendation is for 10 days and a $300 fine on both. The shoplift was an event that occurred at Dick's Sporting Goods. All of the items were recovered. The theft third was an event at TJ Maxx. All items were recovered. So we're not asking for any restitution or any probation. He should be at credit for these charges anyway.
You got a chance to speak, Mr. Westfall. Just 1 second. Anything else? Counsel?
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Westfall, I'm going to hear from Ms. Bonnet first, and then you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. Ms. Bonnet, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. No objection to the city's motions. This is an agreed recommendation. We just ask that you follow it. We'll ask to set payments as low as possible and to set them out to give Mr. Westfall enough time to start saving up money to put towards the fines. Thank you.
All right. First things first, city's motions granted. The criminal trespass first degree into the 017 dismissed with prejudice at this time, and the obstructing a law enforcement officer under the 952 also dismissed with prejudice at this time. All right, Mr. Westfall, it sounds like you have something you'd like me to know. You're not required to speak, but you certainly may if you'd like to. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm just a little upset because number one, I haven't been able to talk to my real attorney one time since I've been here, since this case started. And that's the first time I heard that this shoplifting charge was from Dick's. I've never had a shoplifting charge from Dick's. I've never shoplifted from Dick's. So like that, I thought this was for something totally different. Like no one's ever gone over that charge with me. And now I'm pissed because I just said not guilty because I mean I've already served my time, you know, so why not? You know, I get, you know, it's done and over with. But I never committed that crime. Like I'm pissed because no one told me that that's what it was for. I haven't talked to my real attorney one damn time.
Although it looks like there was a bag.
When did you go over the plea form with your attorney, Mr. Westfall?
Just a few minutes ago, but he never once told me. He just said that it was a theft third and shoplifting. He didn't say anything about, he never said anything about it being Dick's or TJ Maxx. I thought it was TJ Maxx.
Okay.
According to the law enforcement report, officers contacted him and he admitted to stealing a pair of shorts from Dick's.
Dick's
Which was
doesn't even
located
sell
inside a blue bag when officers were contacting him.
Dick's doesn't even sell shorts. Oh wait, yeah they do. Yeah they do. Yeah they do.
Okay.
I think they do.
All right. Well, this is obviously a unique situation, Mr. Westfall. I mean, at this point, I guess technically I could withdraw them and move, and you could set it out if you want to. We haven't gone through the sentencing.
Yeah, I'd like to withdraw it.
Then, Mr. Westfall, we'll need to continue this 2 weeks to allow your attorney time with the holidays and offices being closed. We're going to continue it into the new year.
What a dummy.
That's fine. But yeah, I'm not gonna, sorry. Like, I was okay with it because,
I'll upload a motion to continue now, Your Honor.
Yeah.
That's
fine. So what we need to do then.
And the city is obviously not going to move to dismiss those other charges, so those would be.
No, so with the withdrawal of I will allow Mr. Westfall to withdraw his guilty pleas, but I'm also I'm not going to sign off. I actually haven't signed off on it anyway, so I'm just not going to sign off on the order dismissing the other two charges.
Okay.
So, city's motion to move those is, to dismiss those is withdrawn. Mr. Westfall's guilty pleas are withdrawn.
Are you okay with January 5th, Mr. Westfall?
January 5th, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay with the speedy trial waiver?
If you can just trash everything other than the motion to continue.
No.
All right, I'm just pulling up the motion to continue, just so the record is completely clear. City's motions to dismiss those two charges is withdrawn. I haven't signed off on it. Mr. Westfall's guilty pleas to these two charges are withdrawn. I'm not accepting them at this time. And then we'll go ahead and set this over. Ms. Bonnet, looks like you're just filling it out right now.
I asked him if he's okay with the speedy trial waiver to January 5th, and he hasn't responded yet, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's what I was.
I said no, but is it just till January 5th?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Your Honor,
Yes, I am.
I can't. Oh wait,
Yes.
now I can edit it here.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Westfall, I think I heard you. You said you are okay with the speedy waiver to January 5th?
Yes.
Okay. All right, with that all being said then, Ms. McGrain, is there any objection to the motion to continue?
No, that's fine.
And I'd like to see this footage of them stealing me or of them saying that I admitted from stealing from Dick's, because that's a lie.
So, Mr. Westfall, you'll just need to speak with your attorney, sir. I obviously can't help you with any of that. What I will do is sign off on this order, and it looks like, Ms. McGrain, I just need your signature.
Okay.
I have signed.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Westfall, we'll see you January 5th, 8:30, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Ms. Foster, do you just have Cody, is it Dykstra?
I do, Your Honor.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see if we can get him taken care of sooner than later.
Thank you.
He's not one of the first two names that I have. It's Deputy Lloyd is the only transport deputy in the jail this morning, so they're running,
Okay.
he's bringing one or two in at a time, sort of thing, I think.
Okay. So you're going to be at the mercy of Deputy Lloyd, apparently.
But as soon as I see his name, I'll move him to the top of the list.
Okay, perfect. I think we do have a few we can probably call without the
I believe Hines is an agreed continuance.
Hines, Charles, and Gearhart. I think all three of those are ones we can do without. Great. Good morning, Deputy Lloyd.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, and good morning to everyone over there at the jail. When you hear your name called, please come on forward. We will hear your case. Ms. Bonnet, who would you like to start with at the main jail?
Pina Wilson, please, Your Honor. This will be a continuance.
All right, Jershawn Pina Wilson, 380459156. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing, sir?
I'm just fine. Thank you very much. I'm going to hear from your attorney. Ms. Bonnet, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreed, or I believe it's agreed, continuance to the 3rd of January. I do realize now looking at that, that is the first Wednesday back after a long holiday weekend. I'm not sure if we want to move this to Friday for a full 2 weeks from today, but if Mr. Pina Wilson did talk to his attorney and agree to the 3rd, then
Well, I guess I'll hear from the city. Does the city have any objection, Ms. McGrain?
Nope.
I mean, we can leave it there if that's what everyone
Okay.
agreed to. It's fine.
I'm okay with doing the Friday.
What's that, sir?
I said I'm okay with doing the Friday.
All right, you know what I'll do? I'll just take a look at the calendar real quick and see which one, see how things are looking. So it looks like the 3rd has 8 people. Actually, that Friday currently has 4 more people already than the Wednesday, so might as well just do the Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, it'll be January 3rd, 8:30 in the morning then, Mr. Pina Wilson. I'll go ahead and sign off on this. Do you have any questions at all?
No, I do not.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
the next matter, Your Honor, is Zachary Cooper, and this will be a change of plea.
All right, Zachary Cooper, CB 0110707. Morning, Mr. Cooper.
Hello.
All right, let's see here. I have a guilty plea statement before me,
Okay.
and it looks like it's to 2 counts: malicious mischief, 3rd-degree domestic violence, and interfering with reporting domestic violence. Have you had the opportunity, sir, to review this document with your attorney?
Yes.
All right, any questions about it for me?
No, sir.
All right, looks like on the defendant's signature line, I see your electronic signature there. Did you or perhaps your attorney sign that on your behalf?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand, sir, that by pleading guilty to this charge, you'd be waiving your constitutional rights, including the right to a jury trial and the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and look at the recommendation. It says on count 1, 364 days jail, suspending 357, so serve 7 days on that. Credit for any time already served. $5,000 fine, suspending 4850, so a $150 fine. It also says suspended for 60 months of probation. That's 5 years. We'll get through all the probation requirements here in a minute. Count 2, same exact thing, 364, suspending 357, so another 7 days. 5,000, suspending 4850, so another $150. That comes out to 14 days total, $300 fine total. There is a $115 domestic violence fee. That's statutorily required. That would be imposed as well. Now on the probation, sir, You'd of course have to report to Whatcom County District Court probation upon your release. They're going to monitor a number of things, have no new criminal law violations, complete a domestic violence evaluation, comply with the recommended treatment. And it looks like there's not going to be a no contact order requested at this time, and that there is an agreement to terminate probation upon completion of the domestic violence treatment. So even though the court would be imposing 60 months at this time, if it follows this recommendation, once the DV treatment is done, you would be eligible to have that probation revoked, essentially. Does that all make sense to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. I feel like I keep asking this, but neither of these charges, the malicious mischief actually doesn't require firearms, correct, on the DV?
I think with the DV tag, it just, the domestic violence tag.
Let me double check, because I know that there's a couple charges, I think malicious mischief. Do you know off the top of your head, Ms. McGrain, the malicious mischief, even DV doesn't require?
I don't, unfortunately, my sticky notes are not on this computer. I don't recall.
Let me take a look here, because the firearms form has all the charges on it. I'll just look.
I feel like I should know this too, right?
I know there's a couple DV charges that don't require it, oddly enough.
For some reason, only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so the only ones that require it: assault 4DV, coercion, stalking, reckless endangerment, trespass first degree, VNCO, and harassment. So, yeah, neither of these charges carries a firearm designation. So, okay, so this shouldn't affect your firearm rights then, Mr. Cooper. All right, well, that is, although I do see, Ms. McGrain, it looks like the box was checked. Is there a request for no firearms as a condition of probation?
That wasn't specifically negotiated. I think perhaps I was under the impression that it was included, so that could be removed.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Cooper, all in all, serve the 14 days, $300 fine, 5 years of probation with that domestic violence evaluation that can terminate upon completion of the treatment probation. Any questions about that, sir? Is that your understanding of the agreed recommendation?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Perfect. All right. All right. Okay. Other than this recommendation from the prosecutor, sir, has anyone promised you anything or threatened you in any way in order to get you to plead to these charges here today?
No, sir.
Are you doing it on your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Do you also understand that the court is not actually required to follow this recommendation? Could technically sentence you up to the maximum 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine on both of these?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, do you understand, Mr. Cooper, if you're not a United States citizen, the conviction of these crimes can carry negative immigration consequences?
Yes, sir.
All right, knowing all of this, Mr. Cooper, do you still wish to move forward today with the guilty pleas?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bonner, do you satisfy Mr. Cooper's making the change of pleas freely, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cooper, on count one, under cause number CV 0110707, charge of malicious mischief, third degree in the domestic violence. How do you wish to plead today?
Guilty.
All right, thank you, sir. On count two, under the same cause number, CB 0110707, charge of interfering with reporting domestic violence. How do you wish to plead today?
Guilty.
All right, thank you. And I guess, Ms. McGrain, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreed, oh, sorry, I have to read.
Yeah.
So, officer's report indicates on November 12th, 2023, at approximately 16:59 hours, officers responded to the to 2020 Texas Street after a neighbor reported hearing an argument between a male and a female. The neighbor further heard the female say something similar to "keep your hands off me." Parties were reported to be near a vehicle in the parking lot. Officers contacted a male who he recognized as the defendant Cooper from previous contacts. Other officers spoke with the victim. The defendant admitted to having an argument with the victim, but claimed it was not physical. He advised that the argument was over the victim not wanting to date the defendant. They had previously been in an on and off again relationship for about 6 years. During the argument, the defendant slammed his head into a wall, putting a hole through it. This was a location that they lived in together. The defendant was arrested, and then as he was being transported, he yelled something similar to "don't say shit" to the alleged victim, thus interfering with her reporting of the incident, and then the malicious mischief is for the damage to the shared residence. These events occurred in the city of Bellingham.
Thank you very much. Based on that, court does accept your guilty pleas, Mr. Cooper, finding they were made knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences. There is a factual basis to support both guilty pleas. Court would also find that all elements of both charges have been satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt. Both charges have been pled and proven. The court will now enter findings of guilt as to both. Also, just reviewing Mr. Cooper's history, I see that he's already prohibited from owning, possessing, controlling firearms, so I guess in the end, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But Ms. McGrain, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a case that was negotiated between myself and defense counsel. The recommendation is for 7 days on each count, $150 fine, so $300 fine total. We have, and I guess before I go too far, I'll just inform the court. So we had not been sure that this case was going to resolve. Ms. Cartwright did let the victim know of the recommendation, and she responded to us essentially indicating that she's not asking for any restitution and that she is requesting that there's no contact order, but she was not specifically advised of her rights as a victim to be present and make a statement. I think at this point, given that she was aware of the recommendation and did respond to us, I'm comfortable going forward. But if for some reason we need to potentially note this for a sentencing hearing or sentencing review, if she desires to make a statement, we can certainly do that. But I think for purposes of today, I'm comfortable going forward as long as the court is as well.
Yeah, I think so, because you're right. We could always remedy it if the victim wants to make a statement. I think we could.
We could note it up for a review hearing if the victim so chose to do that. So. But given that we know that she's not asking for restitution, we know that she's not asking for no contact order, the city is comfortable making those recommendations at sentencing today. We are asking for 5 years of probation with the domestic evaluation and treatment. The city would be fine with DVMRT through the probation department if that's something that he qualifies for. Part of the reason that the city is wanting that restitution is, obviously there's some domestic violence harassment charges that are fairly recent, from 21 and 22. And so I do think that domestic violence evaluation and treatment is an important component of this recommendation. And really, the only reason that the city is even willing to remove the no contact order is because of that probation recommendation. I think that if there's non-compliance with probation, that no contact order could be addressed at a later date. But for purposes of the hearing today, the city has no objection to removing the pretrial no contact order. And I can't recall, does the court need a separate order to that effect? I believe.
Yeah, I think we will.
So I will upload that right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Ms. Bonnet, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreed recommendation between myself and Ms. McGrain. We're asking for Your Honor to follow it, and I'm hopeful, and I believe in Mr. Cooper that he can engage with probation and complete a DVMRT, and then as soon as that's completed, we can ask for early termination of probation. No objection to removing the pretrial or terminating the pretrial anti-harassment order. And I will get Mr. Cooper's permission to put his initials on all the paperwork here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper, you are not required to speak, but you certainly have that right if you'd like to. Is there anything you want me to know before you're sentenced?
No, I think everything is good. Everything sounds good.
Okay. Well, Mr. Cooper, I will follow the recommendation. I see that you have some DV history, so I think that the treatment is more than appropriate, but I will follow it in full. Let's go ahead and just walk through it here together, sir. We'll be on count 1, 364 days, suspending 357, served the 7 days. Credit for any time already served, $5,000 fine, suspending $48.50. Suspended for 60 months of probation at this time. Count 2, the exact same, 364, suspending 357. $5,000 fine, suspending $48.50, also suspended for a period of 60 months probation. On that probation, we'll get to the conditions here in just a moment, but I will allow for the early termination upon completion of the DV treatments. Let me add that in here real quick. All right, as far as the fines go, it's the $300 fine. That's $150 on both for $300 total. We have a $115 domestic violence fee that's imposed. That comes out to $415. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is there is a $100 monthly probation monitoring fee. Obviously, that's going to look rather large at this point, Mr. Cooper, because 60 months times 100 comes out to $6,000. That being said, since I'm allowing for early termination, you only have to pay for the months that you're actually on probation. So if you serve 3 months, it's $300. So the rest of it will be essentially terminated at that point. Does that all make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it will look like a very large number at this point, but provided you do everything you're supposed to do, that number will decrease dramatically. Given time, Mr. Cooper, could you make payments on these fine amounts?
Yes.
All right, what would you like your monthly payment set at, sir?
Do I have to answer that right now, or can I just figure that out when I get there? Because I'll probably just pay it all in the first couple months.
Why don't I just do this, Mr. Cooper? Are you fine if I set it at $25 per month, and you can always pay more if you want to? Is that fine with you?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that's what we'll do. You will have to start payments by February 22nd of next year. You can always, like you said, if you just want to pay it in full, that's fine, but that's up to you. So, all right, as far as probation conditions go, then let's go ahead and walk through those together, sir. You will have to report to Whatcom County District Court probation upon your release. They're on the 4th floor of the county courthouse right next to the jail there. Do you know which building I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Head on over there right after your release. They're going to monitor a number of things. Have no new criminal law violations while on probation. Let's see here. Really, the other major thing is going to be complete that domestic violence evaluation, comply with the recommended treatment. I will allow for DVMRT if probation thinks that that's appropriate. So really, I'll defer to probation on that. Let's see here. There we go. So that will be between you and your probation officer. But if they think DVMRT is a better fit for you than a full-blown DV evaluation and treatment, that's fine with the court. I already said probation can terminate upon completion of the treatment and in full compliance. No possession of firearms, sir. That's not an order of this court in the sense that this conviction prohibits you from owning, possessing, controlling them. It's just simply because you already are prohibited from doing so based on your conviction history. Lastly, sir, I am going to set a 90-day review date here for probation. It's just an initial review to make sure that you're, on top of things and doing what you're supposed to do. So that will be March 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. That is a Thursday here at Bellingham Municipal Court. I think that covers everything, Mr. Cooper, at this point. I'm not entering a no contact order. We'll go ahead and I will rescind the pretrial one here in just a second. Lastly,
I have one more question too.
Yeah, just 1 second, Mr. Cooper. I just need to clarify one thing. My clerk also let me know that there was a pretrial active GPS. At this point, is the city fine removing that?
That's fine.
All right, so we'll remove that active GPS order. All right, sorry for interrupting you, Mr. Cooper. Go ahead with your question.
I was gonna ask, you said the first payment's about like February 20th or something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be out by then.
Okay, when do you want me to start them by, sir?
Maybe like 10 or 15 days after that, maybe.
Okay. Are you held on anything else, Mr. Cooper?
Yeah, I pled out to like 4 months or something, and I'm doing that too right now.
Oh, okay. I just don't see it on the jail roster. The only thing I'm seeing on the jail roster is these charges, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and set the payments out. If I set them out into like, let's just say April 1st, does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, I will sign off then on the judgment and sentence. We do have 1 or 2 more documents real quick here, sir, to review, so thank you for being patient. Next one is the no contact order modification. This is going to be simply removing that pretrial no contact order. I'm just trying to load it up here as we speak.
Right now, he's not held on this case.
All right, so everything looks good. I'm signing off on this. Mr. Cooper, the no contact order in this case is no longer active. I don't know if you have any other active no contact orders, but the one in this case has now been rescinded. Any questions about that, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Cooper, I think that does address everything. Thank you very much. And if you have no further questions for me, then you're good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, have a good one, sir.
Your Honor, the next matter that's ready is Cody Dykstra.
All right, Cody Dykstra at 380668155 on for a probation review. Go ahead and get this pulled up here. Mr. Dykstra, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, just pulling up the notice of violation here. This is a post-conviction case. It looks like we have 2 alleged violations. Ms. Bonnet, are you able to admit or deny those today on behalf of Mr. Dykstra?
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to deny and continue. I believe it is based off of the new charge that is still being litigated in Superior Court. I don't believe Mr. Dykstra is held on our matter here. I would like to know if Mr. Dykstra is planning or thinks he might be able to post the bail on Superior Court matters. If you're not Mr. Dykstra, I would request that we get some nominal bail here on this case so you can be earning credit on this case in municipal court. But if you think you're going to post the Superior Court bail, then I won't ask for nominal bail here.
Trying to post bail on the other matter.
Okay.
I would like to probably get PR'd on this if possible.
Okay. My request then, Your Honor, would be to continue this 2 weeks, and then if he's still in custody, similar to the other individual at the work center, we might readdress potentially nominal bail at that time.
Okay. So today we have violations 1 and 2 denied and defense requests to continue. Ms. Foster, what's probation's position?
Your Honor, a two-week continuance is okay with
Okay.
probation.
And I guess we should set an out-of-custody review as well. When would you like to do that?
Yes, please. Could we just do it that following Wednesday? I think, would that be the 3rd?
That makes sense. Let's take a look and see what the calendar looks like.
If he is released, I know we've got the holidays, but I would just request that he report to probation to just at least schedule an appointment, check in with his probation officer.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
That's totally fine.
All right, so Ms. Bonnet, the request then was to do, 2 weeks on this one?
Please.
Okay, so Friday the 5th.
Oh, sorry, yes. So then it would be, is it the 8th or 9th?
And then this
Or
would
we
be,
could do it the Wednesday before.
so it'd be next Thursday, Thursday after that.
We need to watch Donna the Deer Lady after this clip.
All right, so Ms. Foster, I think these are DVs, so I think we do it on a
Yeah,
Thursday, which
sorry.
would be the 11th.
Yes,
Does that work for you?
my apologies, yes.
Okay, all right, so just finishing up the order, Mr. Dykstra. Thanks for your patience here, sir.
No problem, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Dykstra here, we're gonna do just a couple of things. We have violations 1 and 2 are denied at this point. Request to continue is granted. We'll set it over. If you are still in custody held on those Superior Court matters, we'll see you January 5th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm not imposing any bail on this at this time, so this will not hold you. If you do post the bail in Superior Court, Mr. Dykstra, report to probation immediately upon your release. Just go check in with them. And then we will have an out-of-custody date here. It's going to be set for January 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's a Thursday.
Okay.
Any questions about any of that?
No, I appreciate it.
All right.
That
Mr.
sounds
Dykstra,
good.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
Okay, we are going to pause and we are going to take a moment to watch Donna the Deer Lady. So let me first get it pulled up. This is for you, Brian Boggs.
What's going on there? Now, Donna, you got quite the event today. It sounds like what's going on with you.
Well, I wanted to voice my opinion on something that's been bothering me for a really long time.
Okay.
I tried writing the newspaper and contacting TV stations, but nobody seems to want to stay with this. So that's why I'm calling you guys.
What's the issue?
Well, over the past few years,
I know.
I've been involved
I
in
love it.
3 separate car accidents involving deer.
Mm-hmm.
With the population and everything. Each of these incidents, they've occurred shortly after I saw a deer crossing sign on the highway. Well, my frustration is that Minnesota and North Dakota Departments of Transportation would allow these deer crossings to be in such high traffic areas. I mean, I've even seen them on the interstate. Why are we encouraging deer to cross at the interstate? I don't get it. That's such a high traffic area. I mean,
you
know, I understand that deer are wild animals and they need to travel across the streets occasionally to survive and, you know, of course, to find food. But it seems to me that so irresponsible of us to allow these deer crossings to be in areas where these deer are so likely to be struck by oncoming traffic. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's just, I mean, you think they would put deer crossings maybe, you know, in, you know, smaller towns, maybe during at a school crossing. It would be a safer place for them to cross. You know, put the deer crossing sign.
You know, deer crossings aren't telling deer that it's safe to cross there. It's just more of like an alert for drivers so they know it's like a high deer population.
The government put the deer crossings there. They can direct the deer population anywhere they want to by moving that deer crossing sign. I mean, you know, why in the world would they place it on the highway or the interstate? You know? I mean, God, there are so many other places I can think of than putting the deer crossing signs on busy highways and interstates.
You seem to be under the misunderstanding that the deer are somehow attracted to the deer crossing sign.
Well, yeah, the deer crossing sign is there to allow the deer to know that's where they need to cross.
Right. And all these car accidents you had involved a deer after you saw a deer crossing sign.
Exactly. I mean, I'm trying to watch out for the deer, but I mean, you know, speed limit's 55, 65. How am I supposed to, you know, you can't brake really quick if you know, if the deer just is crossing in that deer crossing area.
So you'd like to see these signs move somewhere safer?
Right. If we can move them, like, don't put deer crossing signs on the interstate or freeways. You know, put them in lower traffic areas. You know, somewhere where the speed limit's, you know, a lot slower. You know, maybe small towns. I don't know. I think school crossings is a good idea.
Well, listen, we will. Yeah, I mean, you say you've tried to contact quite a few people about this.
Right. Yeah, I wrote like at least 3 or 4 letters, and
we will spread the word. Okay, we will try to kind of help you raise some awareness for this issue. Okay.
Oh, thank you. We need to move those deer crossing signs.
We appreciate your comment this morning.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
The B-side word.
Missing is all that's going on there.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Playhouse family, now after having received well over 1 million views on YouTube, may we welcome back to the show, Fargo's own, Donovan Beardsley!
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm very well. How are you guys?
We're good, but girl, you famous.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe all this hubbub. Holy cow. Well, first of all, can I just say thank you to you 3 wonderful human beings for being so nice to me the last time I was on the radio with you.
Thank you. Now, how are things now? Just let us know how your life is, because I don't know if you realize you're well into over 1 million views on YouTube.
I know. Oh my gosh. I mean, gee whiz. From that one phone call, I mean, you guys must have had to like totally tie your giggle bones down, you know, with that last call. My life, wow. It's been interesting, almost kind of like a carny ride in an odd way.
To clarify, you are now aware deer crossing signs, their purpose is to alert drivers of deer, yes?
Yes, yeah. And now that I've had the reasoning for the deer crossing signs explained to me, I just have to say that I feel incredibly stupid Just on my defense, I had no clue that these signs were for us. Because I never really thought about it enough to realize that I was kind of being ridiculous.
That's why you have me, Shane.
And in my defense, I grew up in a really small North Dakota town, and I'm a passionate Irish woman. I have an extreme love for animals, but where I lived and grew up, I was pretty isolated. So until my husband brought me to Fargo about 3 years ago or so, and I started seeing all these deer crossing signs.
Well, and obviously, when we were talking to you, we were trying to be nice. We tried to kind of explain things, but once we got off the phone with you and people started calling in, what kind of happened when you heard that?
Many did.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, literally, when I got off the phone with you guys, my coworkers and my family, they were texting me after this, and I heard about all your phone calls. Holy cow, you guys must have been inundated. People making fun of me, and then my phone wouldn't stop ringing for almost 2 days. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
So have you been getting constant attention since you've been on our show?
Actually, after a while, it died down for a couple of weeks after I was talking to you guys on the radio. But then just a few days ago, I started getting email about the YouTube links from people with the podcast that you had posted on your website.
That had to be nice, too, to know that it is just getting spread all over the world, huh?
Yeah. In one respect, yeah, kind of. Part of me, has decided to stand up and just own this like a modern woman, And, I have people coming up to me and saying, "Oh my God, are you Donna, dear lady? And, are you that lady from Y94?" And, after a while, I was at the point of saying, "Yes, that's me. I'm Donna, the dear lady." So I'm just, laughing it off and rolling with it, plain and simple. But you know what?
What's that?
The one thing that's been kind of rough is some neighborhood children have been, keeping printouts of deer crossing signs and shoving them in my mailbox. This has been going on for the past week or so. So that's kind of frustrating. But, kids will be kids, I'm kind of letting things roll off my shoulders, considering. And then my coworkers have been relentless, and, patients have been teasing me, because I work as a receptionist at a clinic here in Fargo. I thought things were dying down a little bit until we woke up this morning and found a plastic life-size deer in our lawn next to one of those highway signs planted in our front yard. So, criminy Christ, people, I get it now.
Well, listen, Donna, the first call was very fun for us. You seem to be taking it in good spirits, and we certainly appreciate you calling in. And I'm sorry that this is, to some extent, maybe negatively affected your life, but we'll do our best to maybe help it calm down here. It will blow over, I promise.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Just, I'm a concerned woman, when it comes to certain subject matters. And honestly, absolutely learned a good lesson out of the whole experience, if anything else. But, I would kind of ask, if I can ask people to stop sharing the links of our Herschel conversation, that would be kind of nice. I really want the recording of my first call to kind of go away soon.
Whoops.
Well, over a million people have seen it. How many people are left?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how many people are in the world, so.
Well, Donna, I really do appreciate that you can kind of take the title Donna the Deer Lady and own that. I think if nothing else, we owe you a t-shirt. Donna the Deer Lady t-shirt. We will make it and design it ourselves.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so sweet of you guys. You're so sweet. That's very nice of you. Thanks for being so nice to me.
You're famous, you're international. Now and forever, Donna the Deer Lady!
Mission is all it's.
I don't know if there's a part 3, but I'm going to find out right now. No part 3. But yeah. And I just shared it with about 1,000 more. Sorry. And I know Brian Boggs is getting the link and he's going to share it. And a couple of you might share it. So, yeah, sorry, Donna. And that's not even a new clip, that Donna the Deer Lady has been around for a minute. That was from 11 years ago. That was 11 years ago. Yeah. And it's still being circulated because it's that darn good. Oh, they sure did. Absolutely, they sure did. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. That makes me happy. Thank you, Chadaskadum. Thank you for sharing that with them. Oh my gosh. Yes, to the 6th grade students, internet is forever. It will never go away. And if you do something really stupid, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. Like Donna the Deer Lady. Yeah, yep. 11 years ago was the first time that she called into the radio station. Yeah. And it's still just as funny today as it was when I first heard it. And even though I have heard it, it still cracks me up. It's just one of those priceless, timeless clips. It will never not be funny. Yes, and she really does. She has a wonderful personality. She's so naive. And her naivety is charming. And it's just, yeah. Brian Boggs, that's for you. Sorry you hit a deer. But maybe next time. Maybe next time don't go where they've been told to cross. Oh, can you imagine? Like, oh my God. Okay, you remember when I was talking about my dad last night and I was saying how he had he did animal control as part of his job. So there was one time, and this was, oh gosh, I was like 8. So we're talking well over 30 years ago, like 32 years ago, roughly, or ish. So anyways, he had a lady call about a raccoon. So, when you enter a town, it's got the sign that has the name of the town and the population, right? So at the edge of my dad's town was that sign. And it actually wasn't even like the edge of town, it was like the transition between Baraboo to West Baraboo, which, West Baraboo is a technical, other name, but it's whatever. It's still Baraboo. But anyways, so this lady calls the police department and gets my dad. And she tells him there's a raccoon at that sign. And my dad's like, yeah, so? And the woman's like, she was getting wound up. Like, she started just, I want to inform you kind of tone. And then as the conversation went on, she was getting more and more frustrated with my dad. And finally, she just started yelling at him that, because my dad was like, what do you want me to do about it? It's a raccoon. It's just, it's at the sign, big deal, And the woman is like, that sign is the difference between in town and out of town, and it's on the in town sign. Doesn't it know that it can't be there? It has to stay on the out of town side. And that's where my dad was just kind of like, what now? But that lady too, she legitimately thought that the animals somehow have been informed of what's in town and what's out of town, and that they have the same laws that we have to abide by. Like, what did she want my dad to do? Go out and ticket the raccoon? I mean, we all know they're little bandits. He'd had to steal to pay the ticket back, and we don't want that. I mean, come on, people. Oh, Archangel, I'm so glad you made it. Food coma and all, just happy to have you here. And if you fall asleep again, I won't tell anyone. Just make sure to hit the like button before you lay back down. Ooh. I will have to check that out. Yep. Yeah, I had one deer that ran alongside of my car, and then it got kind of nicked basically on one of its heels as it was trotting alongside my car, and then it just kind of rolled end over end. I felt bad for it, but it was really icy that day, so I was not going to stop. Right. No trash pandas. Trash pandas are amazing. I love them so much. I love them. Oh my goodness, no, I can't. Oh man. They will too. I remember those. I still giggle when I see them. All right, guys, I'm going to put the clip back on. That's right. Other drive. Oh, I don't even have to do that. I can hit this button.
Too, man.
Appreciate it.
The Martinez matters ready, Your Honor.
Perfect. Sign off on that. Okay. This would be Josiah Martinez, 3808-15861. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, this is on for an arraignment. I did have the opportunity to review the probable cause statement. Any comments on that, Ms. Bonnet?
No, Your Honor, we waive a formal reading of rights, enter plea of not guilty, and stipulate to probable cause for today only.
All right, the court will find that probable cause is established for the charge. At this time, Mr. Martinez, any questions at all about your constitutional rights or the charge?
No.
All right, I'll waive the formal reading. Not guilty plea is entered on your behalf. Ms. Foster, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday if I don't see you.
Thank you, you too.
All right, and with that not guilty plea entered, go ahead, Ms. McGrain, on release conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the city has no objection to a PR release. We are asking that the defendant be placed on pretrial monitoring to be monitored for alcohol, and the basis for that is that it does appear that alcohol played a pretty substantial factor in this case, as indicated by the probable cause statement. I understand he doesn't have any history in Washington. Obviously, this is a new charge, so we have not had a chance to run an NCIC yet. But I do think that the city would be asking for that monitoring, not asking for scram or anything like that, just the pretrial monitoring. And then we are asking for a no contact order with the alleged victim. Thank you.
Can you just remind me, I read it before court this morning, but what were the specific allegations with alcohol? Was there anything in particular that stood out to you?
So this was Mr. Let's see. I know that the box was checked, indicating the alcohol was involved. And then let's see if I can find something specific. Yeah, I mean, other than just being noted both on the LAP and in the PC statement, I can look through the full report and see if I can find anything more specifically. Oh, it looks like Officer Spencer's report indicates that he could smell the odor of intoxicants coming from the defendant's person, and he admitted to drinking alcohol that evening. So there was an admission as well to consuming alcohol.
Okay, that's all I was wondering, because I just didn't remember actually reading it in the PC.
Yeah, I think it was just indicated both on the PC statement in the checkbox, and then both LAP also indicated alcohol at the bottom, but that appears to be the basis.
There has a little bit more information.
Yeah, and I don't know, I can't recall. I think that based on the defendant's date of birth, I don't believe he's of legal drinking age.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, all right. Ms. Bonnet, go ahead.
Your Honor, we would have no objection to release on PR. I would ask for standard conditions. Mr. Martinez has zero criminal history whatsoever. This is a first alleged offense. No objection to the pretrial no contact order. We would ask for a civil standby. Again, Mr. Martinez has zero history. I would ask to give him a chance. He knows he shouldn't be drinking alcohol, regardless of the court ordering him not to. He's not of legal age, so we would just ask that he be given the chance to comply with standard release conditions, and then if for some reason he can't do that, then we can readdress pretrial monitoring at that time. Thank you. He is also unemployed right now, Your Honor. He's looking for a job, so we would ask to be appointed from the bench.
Okay. I'm just looking, it's always hard to tell because obviously they're sealed, but I see multiple prior cases that would perhaps give me some pause. I can't see what the ultimate outcomes were on most of them. It just would simply suggest that this isn't actually, and actually I do see a conviction on one of them, so I don't think this would actually be Mr. Martinez's first criminal offense. Does either party, I'm assuming, I guess since they're sealed, there's really no way you can look at the outcome of any of those cases, can you?
I think the only way we could is with an NCIC. I think it does show the disposition, but then obviously it would have been vacated or sealed.
Yeah. Are you gonna run an NCIC on it?
We typically do. The only reason we haven't is because this is an add-on, so.
Yeah. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do here today is I'm gonna simply order Mr. Martinez not to possess or consume. That said, if you run an NCIC and it shows that those are convictions, I would have a little bit more concern here because they appear to be what I would consider pretty serious criminal charges. And if those do come back as convictions, at least if it's in front of me, I would very likely reconsider and impose the pretrial supervision. But based on what I have in front of me, I can't tell whether they're convictions or not. In the state of Washington, this appears to be, or as an adult, this appears to be his first criminal case. So I will PR Mr. Martinez here today, simply with standard release conditions and an order not to possess or consume, with the understanding that, again, once that NCIC is run, I would reconsider that.
Your Honor, I don't know if this, so I just was looking through Long Arm, and it looks like there was a non-assault report from August of this year where there is another allegation from the sister, who is the alleged victim in this case, that the defendant had been drinking. So the city does think that, even without the NCIC information, that this would be an appropriate case for pretrial.
So that's the same alleged victim?
This is from the same alleged victim from August of this year. And it's as recorded in Officer Walker's report. He was called to the location. No charges were filed in that case, but there is an allegation that alcohol was also involved.
Alcohol was involved there as well?
Correct.
I would just argue the charge wasn't filed, so that it should not be considered. Let's give him a chance.
Okay. Well, I do see the one conviction, assault 4th degree, from 2018 out of Whatcom County Superior Court. That's one that I do see a conviction for. I think based on that, Mr. Martinez is underage, does have a prior conviction for assault.
And Your Honor, I've been previously sworn. I could read from, I understand it's not a charge, but it's a sworn statement by law enforcement that I could read from if the court would like me to, indicating that he made contact with the defendant at that time, and he, again, smelled a very strong odor of intoxicants coming from his person.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not even going to consider that. I think Ms. Bonnet's correct in that. I don't need to consider that, but considering what we have here, we have an allegation of substance use. I have a prior conviction for assault 4th degree. I now have a new charge of it. I will go ahead. I'm going to make a finding based on that prior conviction that there is a risk of a violent offense being committed. We have a prior assault conviction, and that the least restrictive alternative here would be to place Mr. Martinez on pretrial supervision. Court does make a finding there's a nexus between substance use and the allegation here, so it's not a first lifetime offense. Okay, so Mr. Martinez, you will be released on your personal recognizance. You don't have to post bail or bond, but there is going to be some release conditions imposed here. So you'll get out of jail today, sir, as long as there's no other holds. I don't think there are any others. You'll have to report to Whatcom County District Court probation immediately upon your release. They're located on the 4th floor of the county courthouse. It's the building directly next to the jail. You know which building I'm talking about, sir?
Yes.
Okay, head on over there as soon as you get out of the jail. They're going to monitor a number of things. Simply appear timely for all scheduled court hearings, have no new criminal law violations, have no drug or alcohol related infractions, do not use or possess alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, or marijuana. You'll be subject to random urinalysis at probation's discretion. Do not enter any establishment whose primary business is the selling, serving of alcoholic beverages or marijuana. And then abide by the terms of the no contact order that I'm going to enter here today, and I will review it with you. Any questions at all, Mr. Martinez, about those conditions of your release?
No, sir.
All right, I'll find you eligible for the public defender. We will get you an attorney on board here based on counsel's representations. All right, when are we going to pretrial? like there's 18 people on it. Should be good, right? All right, January 25th at 1:30 will be the pretrial date. That's here at the Bellingham Municipal Court, Mr. Martinez. All right, I think other than the no contact order, which I'll review here in a second, that should take care of everything. Any questions so far, sir?
No, sir.
All right, signing off on that. All right, so this no contact order, it protects a party by the name of Anissa May Martinez. Does prohibit you from doing a number of things, Mr. Martinez. First, do not cause, attempt, or threaten to cause bodily injury, including any type of assault, harass, stalk, or keep under surveillance the protected person. Just have no contact with them at this point, sir. It is face-to-face, it's through a third party. It includes electronic and written contact, so no texting, phone calls, emails, no social media with them. Do not knowingly enter, remain, or come within 1,000 feet of the protected person's residence, school, workplace, vehicle, or wherever they might be. This is a pretrial order, so that means it'll remain in place until the case is resolved unless it's modified or rescinded in the meantime. Is there a civil standby that's needed?
We would request one, please.
All right, so I will allow for a civil standby, Mr. Martinez. What that means is you can call the Bellingham Police Department. They'll send an officer out with you if there's a shared residence. You can collect any undisputed personal items from the residence, but there does need to be a BPD officer there with you. If one is not there and you go to the residence, it would be a violation of this court order and you'd be subject to additional criminal charges as well as potentially bail being imposed on this case. Does that all make sense, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm signing off on it. It looks like you've already signed off on it as well electronically. So, okay, Mr. Martinez, I think that covers everything. Just make sure to check in with probation as soon as you're released, and we'll see you on January 25th, 1:30. You're good to go, sir.
The next matter is the Celine matter. An
All
arraignment.
right, Tomas Celine, 380694995. I actually didn't get PC on this one, so.
And that's because I believe that this has actually been filed as a felony, and so the city is moving to dismiss the A4 that was submitted as well.
Okay, Mr. Celine, good morning, sir.
Morning.
All right, give me just 1 second. Yeah, you're right, I see
I
it as an
believe,
E2.
yeah, I believe that Mr. Celine.
Yeah, what she said.
She was arraigned, or he was arraigned yesterday, I think at 3:30, or
Okay.
had a first appearance, so they are proceeding with that charge.
All right, so city's moving to dismiss the charge without prejudice. Is there any objection, Ms. Bonnet?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll sign off on it. So, Mr. Celine, in this court, charge is dismissed. Just deal with the court, the Superior Court charge, and you're good to go, sir.
You got it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The next matter, Your Honor, is Cassandra Gale.
Cassandra Gale, cause number 380816284. Ms. Gale, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, so this is a charge of DUI. I have a statement of defendant on plea of guilty to that. Have you had the opportunity, ma'am, to review this document with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions about it for me?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, looking at the defendant's signature line, it looks like you reviewed it with your attorney via telephone. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you understand, ma'am, that by pleading guilty to this charge, you'd be waiving your constitutional rights, including right to a jury trial and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's go ahead and just look at the recommendation. On, looks like 364 days, suspending 352, so serve 12 days. Credit for any time you've already served. $5,000 fine, suspending 4302, so that's $698. If I'm looking at this correctly, this is first and seven, second lifetime?
It is, yeah, it's just outside 7.
Okay. All right, it looks like the request is for 60 months of probation, so that's 5 years of probation. It does say it can terminate early at the 2-year mark if you're in full compliance at that point. There's additionally a $177 emergency response cost to the Bellingham Police Department. On that probation, ma'am, there'd be a number of conditions. So you'd need to, of course, have no new criminal law violations. There's some mandatory conditions of DUI probation: not to drive without a valid license or insurance, not to drive without an ignition interlock device, of course, as required by the DOL. Now, next, you'd have to complete drug and alcohol evaluation, comply with the recommended treatment there, complete a DUI victim panel,
Yep.
And it looks like that's everything as far as the probation conditions. There would also be a 90-day license suspension per the Department of
Right.
Licensing. Is that your understanding, ma'am, of the agreed recommendation?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Gale, do you understand the court is not required to follow it and could sentence you up to the maximum 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Other than this recommendation, ma'am, has anyone promised you anything or threatened you in any way in order to get you to plead to this charge here today?
No, sir.
All right, are you doing it on your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And lastly, do you also understand that if you're not a United States citizen, conviction of this crime could carry negative immigration consequences?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knowing all of this, Ms. Gale, you still want to move forward today with the guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor. So I have an apology for the courts, too.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I'll hear from you in just a moment. I'm going to hear from the attorneys first, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, Ms. Bonnet, are you satisfied Ms. Gale is making the change of plea freely, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gale, on cause number 3808-16284 to the charge of DUI, how do you wish to plead today?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, is there stipulation of fact sufficient?
There is, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Vergrain, I'll need your signature on the guilty
I
plea.
apologize, I thought I had.
Perfect, thank you. All right, with that, the court does accept your guilty plea, Ms. Gale, finding it was made knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently with full knowledge of the consequences. There is a factual basis to support that guilty plea, and the court has now entered a finding of guilt to the charge. With that, go ahead, Ms. McGrain.
Thank you, Your Honor. This was a case that was negotiated between myself and Ms. Royam. This is an agreed recommendation for 12 days. Proceeding is a no test. This was a blood draw, voluntary blood draw. Obviously, we don't have the results back. This case is just from, about 12 days ago, from December 10th. Typically, the city would make a higher bail or jail recommendation because the prior is just outside 7. But because Ms. Gale was willing to take responsibility very quickly, the city was willing to come down on the jail sanction, and she's at credit as of today, so she should be released following the plea here today. As the court noted, she did have one prior DUI reduced to reckless in 2015. This case involved essentially a watch for DUI. There was some erratic driving. She was cooperative with law enforcement, but they did note that her speech was fast and repetitive. She performed poorly on the walk and turn in the one-lane stand, and officers noted that when they approached the vehicle, they observed the defendant essentially trying to hide foil, which they know is an indication of drug use. She also had drugs in her on her person when she was booked. She admitted to using, I think, around 24 hours ago. So I think that this is a reasonable way to resolve this case, essentially just asking for 5 years of probation. Because this is a second offense, we would have no objection to terminating early at the 2-year mark, but we do think that some period of probation is appropriate. The ERC is $177, and then we just ask for, the other standard drug and alcohol evaluation, victim impact panel, etc. It's an agreed recommendation. We hope that the court will follow it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. O'Grady. Ms. Bonnet, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreed recommendation. I share an office with Ms. Gale's attorney, and so I know that they talked about what was going to happen here today in detail. This is a quick turnaround, but I do believe she knows what she's doing, and she wants to accept responsibility. And speaking with her attorney, Ms. Royam also commented on how Ms. Gale is really taking responsibility for this and not shying away from it, and she's going to do great on probation. We both believe. We just ask that you follow this recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Gale, now is certainly your chance. You don't have to say anything, but you may if you'd like to, so go ahead.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm excited to go into treatment. That's been my goal, to get back into recovery. I was close to 6 months. Anyway, so, I just wanted to say that I've had some time to think in here, a lot of time to think about taking responsibility and ownership of my own actions and choices. Which has led me to realize that I've put the lives of everybody on the road in this community's lives, including my own, in jeopardy by being under the influence on the road myself, and being how I was so careless and wasn't able to dissect that myself shows me that I need help. I do need help. So I would not take it for granted, would be grateful for the opportunity to have the court's support for the self-discipline for myself to getting a little nervous, sorry, sir, but for the opportunity to recorrect my behavior and change the intent of my direction of my life and the value of others.
All right. Ms. Gill, I really appreciate you making that statement, ma'am. It does carry weight, so appreciate that. Ms. Gill, I will go ahead and I will follow this agreed recommendation for a couple of reasons. Obviously, I see that, you know, this is a second lifetime offense. It's a little bit outside of the 7 years, which worked to your benefit. But most importantly, I really appreciate what you said there, ma'am. I think that you seem very sincere, taking responsibility here, and I really hope that you do well on probation. So I will follow it in full. Let's walk through it all together, make sure we're all on the same page. But that is the intention. So it will be 364 days in jail, suspending 352. That's 12 days. You get credit for any time you've already served, so the jail will calculate that for you. It sounds like you're probably at that credit already. $5,000 fine, suspending 4302. That's $698. That is the statutory mandatory minimum, so that is imposed. I'll waive the BAC fee, the conviction fee, and the booking fee, making a finding of indigency here. So none of those fees will be imposed. There is a $177 emergency response cost to the Bellingham Police Department. That is imposed. And then lastly, we do have the $100 monthly probation monitoring fee. Now, as to that fee, ma'am, I'm imposing it for the amount of the full 5 years, but I'm going to allow for the early termination at 2 years. So if you only have the 2 years of probation, you're not on the hook for the last 3 years of those fees. Those will all get waived at that point.
Oh,
Does that
wow.
make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does. Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so given time, ma'am, could you ultimately make payments on these amounts?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
What would you like your monthly
I'll
payments
make,
set
not
at?
not right now, but I can make. What was that?
How much time do you think you need?
Well, I'll be in treatment for either 21 to 30 days, so probably at least till after that.
Okay.
I have a shoulder injury, so I'm.
Would, let's say April, would that give you enough time to start making payments?
Oh yeah, April. Yeah, plenty of time.
Okay.
Yep.
Once we get to that point, what would you like your monthly payments set at?
Hey guys, I am on my other. I'm on pet cam at the moment because my computer, not kidding you, is like completely like I cannot do anything with it. Completely froze. So I'm gonna have to reboot it. I'm surprised that the clip even kept playing. And that's the thing is, hold up. Let me set this back down. Hey, first off, quick question. How does the audio sound on this computer? I'm going to stop. It sounds fine. Okay. I'm probably going to switch to using this laptop because the other one has been having some issues. This is my download laptop. This is the one that I use to acquire all my clips. And then I stream them on the other one. This one's got a better processor. Apparently it seems to have a better camera too, because I did not look. The room was not this bright on the other one. But my primary laptop's just been giving me a lot of issues lately, as you just saw. And yeah, I was going to tell you guys that I was gonna go to bed, and I was just waiting for the one hearing to stop, and then I was out. I did not even get through the one hearing that I was waiting to get through to tell you guys that I was shutting it down for the night. So I don't even know. Iris said I was out for 20 seconds. I beg to differ. Because I'm pretty sure it was quite a bit longer than that. I know it. Yeah, it didn't shut down. And my computer's restarting right now, like my other one. So, but that's because it's StreamYard. At some point the camera would have just stayed on the clip, but the camera would have had to go off at some point. Battery critically low. Oh, that's what happened. I unplugged my computer for when I opened up my gift. And when I moved it back over to the desk, I never plugged it back in. That's a me. That's not my computer being dumb. That's me being dumb. But I do like this. I do like this computer. Possibly better. I do like Pet Cam. Okay, guys. Yep. I'm gonna go to bed. That was me. Oh, that was you, Emily? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just knew it wasn't me. Yes. Thank you guys again. Thank you for my Christmas present. Well, I was operating on 3 hours of sleep. I streamed for 6 hours yesterday. And then I went to bed at 6 a.m. and I woke up at 9 because my daughter was up and doing stuff and needed stuff. And then I was doing the ornaments and trying to find clips, and I only managed to get that one docket edited, and I was like, screw it, I guess I'm streaming that. And then the other one, the one I started with, I had that one from another time. So, but thank you all for understanding. I need to stop streaming with 3 hours of sleep. I love you all so much. You're my family. Thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to put my chair together tomorrow. And, yeah, I love you. Thank you. Sleep sweet. Much love. And, be safe and be well. Merry Christmas Eve. And thank you. Thank you for all the love.